Welcome back, everyone, to Second Wake, the Monday night Dungeons and Dragons campaign where stuff happens and people things, all of the goofiness and goofy things. Lots of stuff happened last time, but to do announcements first, hopefully, fingers crossed, the stream should come in nice and breezy and lemon squeezy. Here at the home of DM and Colt, we upgraded our internet, so should be way better. For the exact same amount of human dollars, they promised us like ×5 on all of our internet speeds by switching over to the other company that's in our area. And we tested it, and it is not ×5, but it definitely is like 1.5 times. So before, I think we had like peasant internet that was, I think, 100 down and like 10 up, and now it's supposed to be like 500, but it actually tests at like 280-ish. So we'll see how it goes. So far, we haven't dropped any stream or any frames, so we'll see how it goes. If the stream is still crap, then that's it. I live in a country, right? Because we're the United States, right? I live in a country that just can't provide good internet, and I have to walk around with my small bowl and please, sir, may I have some internet? Please, sir. My area has no internet, sir.
A crumb of bandwidth, if you will.
A crumb of bandwidth, if only you could spare some upload speed. It only takes me 7 hours to upload a YouTube video, my lord. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I'm excited to upload this video this week just to see how quickly it goes, but I've been informed that YouTube is a cruel and devilish mistress that will never love me, so we'll see how that goes. A couple of things off the top. We completed our first goal. Yay! So points, all that fun stuff. If you're tuning in, the first goal of give them a raise was passed, so anytime that the group of the Weavers Chosen of Lady Galanti succeeds in a mission, they will be awarded additional gold each. That'll come from effectively the community, but with that, it is in story is just kind of like the tip money or the arbitrary amount of like, you did good thing. Here's what I owe you plus a little extra, kid. I tip 20% on pizza. Why don't I tip my D&D players? Seems good. But being in the spirit of just horrible murder person, I found out that you can have 3 goals going at the same time. So we're going to try that now. I'm going to start this one. And then I'm going to start this one. I'm going to wait for the banner to go first. Start this one. And then we're going to start this one. Boom. All right. So we now have 3 community challenges live at the exact same time. That's the max amount of community challenges that I can go, so they should be fun. You'll notice that the point values are much higher, and they have a time limit of 21 days, so that'll give us effectively 3 sessions to do this. My hope is to also stream like other crap that I do, just like Minecraft or just host people or something, just so that you guys can earn more points if you want to check out other stuff that we're going to try to do on the channel. I'm going to try to just like, I don't know, leech off of people and get them to play multiplayer games, I guess. I don't know, I'll figure it out. But the 3 new challenges we have should hopefully only be able to complete 1 or 2 of them, if you're lucky. The first one is Open the Forbidden Box. It is a thing in the universe. Who knows? Normally I leave... Oh, Doomington, I love you already. Thank you, sir. So normally in my campaigns, I have this big, huge world. We have the Everwield. We have this massive continent or series of continents. And I have to, as a DM, and I think many DMs do this too, you kind of arbitrarily decide when things happen, right?
It's
like you just...
happening.
You wake up and you're like, man, I guess I'll put it to a roll, or I'll decide when some event happens. Well, thanks to the magic of Twitch and streaming a game, we don't have to have those confusing things anymore and wonder, why did this happen? Well, now we're already at half. We're already at 50% of opening the Forbidden Box happening, so it's probably going to happen. Good for you guys.
That one cost a lot less than the other 2.
Yeah, because it's something I wanted to give like a speech about before people contributed points to, but now I'm not gonna. It just, if it happens, it happens. Don't worry, guys.
You all don't understand the cruelty of Kareem, but you will soon.
I killed a player last week. I think they understand. So that's the first one. All you get to know about it is that if you pass it, a forbidden box will be opened. Who opens it? You don't get to know. What's in it? You don't get to know. Will it horribly, horribly doom my players? Most likely. So there's that. That's the first goal. Our second goal is rumors and recognition. That is, again, another arbitrary thing in Dungeons and Dragons that I absolutely freaking hate. And what it is it's kind of the word of mouth that spreads around town. There's a number of DM, like top DM tips and, best barga thing. And it's kind of like at the start of every session, roll dice or do this other mechanic. I think that's stupid. I think Twitch is fantastic. I think being able to do goals like this is awesome. So what rumors and recognition will do is if it does pass within the 50,000 points that it's asked for, it will effectively add reputation to the Weavers Chosen in the group to become more notable in the area. So in the local area, and as well as the kind of spreading out to the lands themselves, the Weavers Chosen of Lady Galanti will become more recognizable. They'll have a bit better chance, or rather interactions with NPCs in the area. So if there's a merchant or anything of that sort, instead of the old why are all these merchants mean to me, or why are all these NPCs hate me? It could be that they go, oh, I've heard of you. Oh, you're the ones who did such and such thing, or this great thing. And of course, being a campaign, we keep a list log, and we now have episodes of all these fantastic things. So if you want them to have an easier time of dealing with NPCs and stuff, make sure that one passes. Our last one is called the Path Not Ventured. The Path Not Ventured is exactly what it sounds like. When the Weavers Chosen, a couple episodes back, decided they wanted to partake in Lamont's mission to guide him to the far north, they, of course, were hinted at that the Lady Galanti had another mission pending. She had something else that she had on the table that they could have done instead. Now, Lady Galanti is a woman of means. She has other Weavers Chosen, and they, of course, go on quests as well. If you would like to, in chat, think, man, the Path Not Ventured, that's like my character. That's I want to be those guys. Now you technically can. For 50,000 points, it attributes to the success of their mission. So the other mission that the Lady Galanti sent them on, if you want that mission to be a success or be fraught with horrible danger, you want to have that pass. If you want it to fail, it'll be dangerous. If you want it to pass, then it means that they succeed their mission, and maybe good things will trickle down economics all over our Weavers Chosen that we get to know and play with. But that is where we're at for our next batch of community challenges. I have a feeling a certain forbidden box is definitely getting opened, so I will apologize now. I thought that would be a way harder sell, but now I know that if I give you things like Blazeball gives things, then I know better, which is great, and I love this community already. We have 10 viewers, and you're all a bunch of degenerate assholes, and I'm absolutely in love with you. So don't tell anybody, but especially you specifically. Just don't tell the other 9 people. You specifically. Mwah, love you. With that, those are our new community goals. When they pass, we'll let you know what happens, and we'll go from there. So bringing it back in, if you guys ever want to share the stream or any of that stuff, we'd greatly appreciate it. Again, if the stream ever is having a poopy day, or if you just can't stay up that late, or you're like, man, Kareem is just gerbling at the mouth and I just can't do it right now, no big deal. You can always catch the VODs for absolutely free on our Twitch channel, or you can catch us on YouTube in the links in the doobly-doo. You can catch the rebroadcast. Usually goes up within a day or two. Depends on how much editing I have to do on it. I'm using a program to do it, so sometimes I'm like, and I get really particular about stuff. So yeah, that seems fun. Why not? Also down below, we have a about the channel / about what we're doing for Second Wake, and a place to credit artists. If you or someone you love has their art on the stream, and old Kareem Zamir did not ask permission to use that art, please write me a very derogatory an incensed message. Any ones that are nice, I won't pay attention to. So just come in at like an 11, and then you'd be like, I need to be credited. I need to whatever. I'll put your name down there. I'll do whatever I got to do. I'll apologize usually. But yeah, we'll credit artists down below as well, because it's D&D, and as the great bearded sage Matthew Colville will tell you, D&D is only as good as the material you're allowed to steal. And so, yeah, that's how that goes. But I want to credit artists because Pinterest is a horrible place where it's like, look at all these free images, and you're like, they're not really free. They're not. So we all know that. But yeah, we also will say people down the doobly-doo. I've tried to put their safe for work Twitters recently, just in case. It's a stream for adults, but in the event that somebody goes down there and is like horribly scarred forever, and then I get a derogatory message, not about not crediting them, but my eyeballs fell out of my skull because I saw, you know, all these crazy things, and the void was open to my eyes alone, then of course I probably need to, like, you know, give a limit to that. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the warlock doesn't care, but sure. So yeah, that's basically the basics of the stream. So all that said and explained, welcome back. I'm going to do this. There we go, so I can cut there. Welcome back to Second Wake, guys. It is episode 9. Wow, we're almost in the last one before double digits. When we last left our intrepid explorer chosen people, I don't know, I need like a cool name. Like, Weaver's Chosen is cool, but it's a little wordy. When we last left our players, there we go with a classic. We found that you all had, we had 2 of our players wanted to guard an inn. The rest of the players wanted to guard the city. You met with the warden. You spoke about manning and defending the eastern edge of town. You set up a post, and you did your absolute best to kind of protect against the oncoming darkness. The fates intervened and said, nah, not today, half-orc boy, or hobgoblin boy, and they smote the living hell out of Colt Honeycutt. And yeah, that's, I mean, I would say that I had a hand in it, but at a certain point, when you fail 2 saving throws at a nat 1, and you get hit like with 4 nat 20s, that's out of my hands. That's
It's only 1 saving throw. You only failed 1 saving throw.
He failed a nat 1 on poison, or on the ongoing effect for damage. So I'm going to count that as a culmination. Took damage from a natural 1. Then he was like, let me get crit, let me get crit, let me get crit. Let my warlock buddy shatter my corpse. And then I'm going to roll a nat 1.
You have the cursed dice again, don't you? You got it back somehow.
No comment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that dice anywhere.
Black dice with white
in my car, in a black little leather pouch.
Is it still in there? I thought we gifted it to some kid.
No, I still have it.
Oh, that's why. I no longer feel bad at all. There is a dice that is in the possession of this group, and now is way too close to my house, that is cursed. And it has cursed many a game at this point. It's cursed 3 games. I think 3 games at this point. It has cursed 3 games that I have DM'd. It was, we thought, banished to a game store, and then discovered by a small child, who we then said, don't do that. And then I thought we had gifted it to a member of the Emberstone community, which is a Sunday community here in Florida. And I thought it was gone. I thought we had gifted it to a 12-year-old, and it was never to see the light of day again. But apparently it's in Colt's car. So Colt being dead is all the juju I need to prove that dice is cursed. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We've learned the history of the horrible accursed dice. It's a what company is it from? Is it like Hammersmith or?
Oh, I think it's just a Chessex die.
No,
it's a Chessex dice.
Is it a Chessex dice? Okay, so
it is.
Wait. Is this the same black glittery one?
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's a glittery black.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
it's absolutely Chessex.
Yeah, cursed. So Chessex black glittery dice with white letters is very cursed. Do not buy that set. 1 in every 1,000 of them cursed with the soul of a lich, and not the fun kind of loving lich, the bad gonna do stuff to your uncle lich, you know? Not good. Your Twitch lich, not good. So after the death of our dear Colt Honeycutt, the party retreated, licked their wounds, and returned back to the inn. They reconvened with their 2 friends, JJ and Orville, who had defended the inn to ensure that there was a place to retreat in the event things turned sour. But being partially triumphant in their fight against it, the group returned a bit low in spirits and low on hope. Morgan scurried off to visit a contact she had in the city to try and discern more information about an item that she had purchased back in Direwood. And upon returning, that is where we called it from our last session. So, we find ourselves that same night as light rain continues to drown out much of the surrounding world. The group of Weavers chosen, you again find yourselves within the inn at Grim Village. You have come to the realization that Colt has been robbed of his life from these shadowy creatures of darkness, and it is an unfortunate circumstance at this time. And that is right back where we're starting now this week. Nothing else has changed. And I turn the things over to you all. That is where you're at, and that's where we will begin. To be terrible, what do you do? There we go. I'm trying not to say it, but I kind of have to. It's awful.
It's weird not having Colts talk first, you know?
Yes, well, he is dead.
Well,
The dead don't always talk unless you make them undead.
Well, we haven't ruled that out, have we?
I mean, Colt rolled it out, but
well,
What
I can't
Colt's
do
no
it,
issue.
and I don't think he'd appreciate it. I never got a formal signature of his approval to be turned into an undead.
I gotta ask, what happened? And
We were beset by the similar shadow creatures that we've dealt with before. They once again amalgamated themselves into a condensed creature, much more powerful than the one before. This one was even immune to my preferred type of combat. And, well, it was very fortunate, I feel, as I do believe we should have been able to handle it without much issue. It literally tore Colt apart.
well, I assume y'all disposed of it afterwards.
Very fortunately, yes. Morgan and Bucky, I would give far more credit than myself, though I did become a meat shield as best I could for those who could better handle this thing.
Good.
Oh, and this did come in useful. I will hand the wand back to JJ.
Oh, as useful as it could have been. Shit.
Well, Morgan's alive thanks to it.
Good to see you're alive then too. We could have lost too. So
Do we
what
know
did
what he wanted to be done with his body?
Well, looking over the missive that was within his armor, it seemed he wanted a warrior's burial of his people, which, if I'm not mistaken, was to be burned on a pyre.
That sounds about right for us, folks. Can't believe he's gone.
Alternatively, yeeted from a catapult.
alternatively, if a catapult would make itself available. In the event that he cannot be brought back, he would like
I'm
to
not
be
familiar with
formally
this
yeeted.
term, but he would like to be yeeted.
Hobgoblin.
Alternatively, buried at where the 300 snakes were.
Ooh.
Val, to
Yes.
catch you up on us green folk talking, yeet is a word that means thrown with much force.
With gusto.
Oh, well. The more you know.
It just
So
says-
yes, we
so, yeah,
find
it's
ourselves
common and then one goblin word.
in need of rest and in need of deciding what we want to do next. I think by the end of the day we could have Colt's burial handled.
That sounds like
Absolutely.
a plan.
Bucky's gonna chug the rest of his drink and say, "Let's get to work."
Are these creatures done with, or?
Oh, absolutely not. They'll be back tonight.
Okay, that's what I figured. They just kind
It
of
was
skittered off.
what I was hoping we would be able to do, and it would be that we could handle this first evening in defense of the city, and then take a little rest here in the morning before heading off to deal with them in the day and trying to find the source. And I will take out the black gemstone
Mhm.
that I pulled, the fractured black spiral gemstone. This was in the remains of the amalgamated creature, some sort of collection of their power and a place for it to coalesce. And I have no doubt that we will find more, or even a origin point for such thing somewhere where all the shadows come from, even the forest.
With all your
But-
magics and whatnot, can you like hibbity hobbity hoobity hoo and like find a way from that crystal back to wherever it came from?
Not at this time.
I'm wondering, since those creatures kind of follow whatever our employers are bringing along, I wonder if they know anything about what kind of stone that is, or what it does, or anything.
Oh, I'm certain that they know everything that we don't, but they wouldn't be willing to provide us with the information.
They might just take that stone from us.
That's fair.
There's
should
also
handle
the
this internally.
matter. I believe that is what we're doing. We are keeping our employers at arm's length and judging them in this time. But we are in a bit of a sticky situation.
Well, I think.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I think we ought to take care of Colt first before we deliberate further. We don't want to disturb people with this corpse laying outside, and I would like to show his respect to him.
Understandable.
Unless we think we can revive him somehow.
Well, I have a few theories on that, but they all may take more time than we would want to invest. Our plate is rather full, but it is in the group's decision of what we want to do. We could try and return to Direwood to find someone who is capable of reviving Colt. We could attempt to find someone here, though I don't think that's very likely.
This place doesn't strike me to have those powerful enough to raise the dead.
We could inquire with our employers about that
That
issue, at
is
least.
actually one thing that I was wondering. Aside from if they could immediately do it, if we are assisting them, we are potentially gaining the boon of a king who could, no doubt, provide us with the means to revive the dead. But we would need to get someone who could preserve the body properly. And I thought about taking that, but I didn't, because it didn't seem like it would be useful yet.
My only suggestion would be maybe to put him on ice somehow. We are pretty far to the north. At least stop him from rotting until we can find something to revive him.
Yeah, I mean, putting them on ice and slow down the natural process.
So what do we want to do then? Do we want to not try and take on these shadows and merely deal with them every night as we escort things further north?
I do believe we should take care of this before it gets too far out of hand. They can't be too far away. You know, they're attacking every night.
I got to agree with Bucky. It seems to be getting worse and worse every day here. May as well get it before it accelerates even further.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then we're all in agreement with that. But that'll be at least our day now spent searching the forest for these things. What do we want to do with Colt? See the plate, it's very full.
Well, we either respect his wishes and burn him in a pyre, or we try to somehow preserve his body. Which
Always
seems
try
kind
the
of
lamp.
unlikely.
Specifically, his wishes are if he can't be brought back,
was-
then those are his options.
Okay.
I was wondering if you would suggest that, Morgan, and it certainly would be an option, but we haven't the faintest clue of what is in that lamp. It could be a creature that could provide us assistance in this manner, or it could be any other manner of extraplanar creature that would just eat your face. That's another group decision, and if we want to take that path, I have two simple requests upon it. We don't do it inside the city, and we make sure we're all there and fully rested and prepared in case things go horrible.
Agree on that.
Hmm.
I can agree to that. I'm willing to take the risk getting that face eaten if it means saving Colt.
I mean, it's one option we can explore. It probably won't take that long.
All right, it should be quick.
Or perhaps we'll all join him.
Quickest campaign ever.
Ghost game. We're speed running, boys.
Bucky's not wrong on that either. Could be a mistake, but Colt was one of us.
Should we take a vote on it?
I suppose that's the first matter. Regardless of the sort we use, do we want to lay him to rest or try and find a way to save his soul?
I would like to try to save him. Perhaps we could pack his body with snow and, keep him somewhere cold.
Or
Hope for the best.
And I'd like
What?
to save him.
No, go ahead.
I'm just looking for everyone's opinions as a vote so far. Bucky and Orville for JJ.
I'm down to give him another chance.
Morgan.
I'm 4 as well.
Well then, my vote doesn't matter. I think we'll have to move forward then. So, do we want to try and use this lamp, or do we want to find a different means?
I don't feel like we're that desperate yet.
Well, Colt did tell me to use the lamp, so
I believe he was hoping to use it against the creature we were fighting. But last words and all, difficult to interpret.
He was so mad at that cat for running into him.
Well,
I mean, if he said use the lamp, we may as well use it.
Mm-hmm.
that's the vote right now then. Do we use the lamp, or do we try a less completely random and dangerous means of doing this. I
Well-
personally do not believe we should unleash whatever is in the lamp at this time. I would rather have a better understanding of what is truly inside there. But if the majority rules that we should use it now, I will of course support you.
Definitely.
So, go ahead, Bucky.
I was just gonna say, definitely think we should exhaust some other options before we rub that thing. It could be a demon. I've seen some weird shit.
It's true.
So, how about I don't know exactly if there's going to be anyone else on our journey accompanying us with Mr. Lamont and whatever his face was that was with him. Maybe they have someone that might have access to higher magics that neither Belle or I or Bucky or anyone here have access to. We could ask them, and if they don't have anything, then maybe we should just use it.
I agree with that.
I don't have any problem with consulting with our employees. We do need to speak with them regardless of which path we choose to take. Though I do fear that the moment we speak with them, they will be more adamant about simply moving on.
Well, if we do end up moving on, then the creatures will probably follow us.
Yes, absolutely. That does solve one of our problems with this poor town. And hopefully with the distractions of those creatures behind them, they will be able to solve their arson issues on their own then.
That does sound like a warden matter.
At the very least, I feel like our employers should know that we are one less in number.
Yes, perhaps they have some sellsword that might accompany us.
Well, let's go find out if they can help or not. Do we want to do that now, or do we want to rest up a bit? I am all kinds of janked up.
Yes, we should definitely rest.
Hey, go ahead and rest, y'all. I'll try and pack them down with snow or ice or something, and then join y'all for a rest.
I'll help JJ in keeping him cool in the meanwhile.
All right. So the pair of you set off to pack some kind of cold bandages and other types of things you can just collect from the area to keep Colt's body a bit colder. The rest of you retreat to your rooms for the evening. You head off and begin
The morning, I hope.
Hmm?
Didn't we fight in the middle of the night?
Yeah. Fights don't take very long, do they?
I wasn't sure how much.
Gotcha.
What time of day is it?
It's still dead of night.
Oh, okay.
So, with that, you all retreat to your rooms for the evening, or rather, early morning, or as many artists will say, I don't know, sometime after midnight. But with that, the three of you retreat to your rooms. JJ and Orville, you both kind of set upon Colt, making sure that his body is well taken care of, not going to be disturbed or messed with until you all have a choice to do things. The sounds and otherwise echoes from around the small village of Grimm begin to slowly peter out. You can hear for a time the soft, light echoes of hammering around town as things are fixed and small fencing is repaired. in the event of a second wave, but such a thing never comes. Time passes, and you all benefit from a long rest, except for Colt, obviously. But the rest of you can get a long rest. You gain your hit points back, you get half your hit dice back, you gain your spells back and any of your other abilities. JJ, at the start of the day, the wand recharges, as it is one to do. And if you would like, you can reattune to it, or you can leave Vel attuned to it, however you'd like to do.
I'll go ahead and reattune to it unless she says otherwise.
It's your property. It's a matter of who you want it on the party.
I'm fine to hold it. It's fine.
All right. So you reattune to it. The group is reawakened at the start of the day. The sounds of much of the village coming back to life, the balking of chickens, the roosting of roosters, and very much the early farming life and hunting life that exists within Grim Village, where a good morning starts right about 5 a.m. Make sure you get a jump on the day. So for many of you waking up who are not of the full elven nature, you get a long rest, but it also is very much a long rest among relatives, where they want to wake up and go to Disneyland every 4 days. So that's kind of where you're at. You all stir. You retrieve Colt from the room you likely stowed him in. Heft him back up onto a disc, I'm sure, or however you want to move your corpse man. But yeah, you arrive, and breakfast is being served. A hearty smattering of day-old biscuits and none too fresh gravy.
Bucky's gonna ask for a beer with his breakfast.
The bartender, Sam, kind of looks you over and goes, "I knew I liked you. Coming right up." And looks over, pours a full tankard, and then kind of sets it down in front of Bucky and wipes his hands with a kind of a cleaning rag and looks you all over and goes, "Can I get anyone else anything else? Wine? We've got a number of spirits available. Not much better for food, unfortunately, but best we could come up with while everything's going on out there."
I'll have some spirits. I'm gonna need it.
Very well. He'll go and fill a tankard up for Orville as well. But easy to do. Past the initial few things, you all manage to finish your breakfast, and you effectively have the day before you to do with as you please. What would you all like to do?
Shall we head to our employers?
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
Might as well.
See if we can
Yes.
bring Colt back.
Be very fortunate.
All right. So you all exit the inn carrying Colt, which I assume is on the disc, Vel?
Yeah.
Resummon the disc. You all make your way through. You can see that while most of the people are no more bruised or beaten up by their incursions over the last few nights, the village is starting to show signs of wear and tear. There are multiple kind of breakpoints in the fencing, and other types of buildings and the roofs seem to have some types of damage and signs of scarring. You don't so much see breaking of wood or any type of kind of poor, or rather signs of like destruction, but you instead see these kind of sickening black stains that run along the length of the wood and grain. It almost feels a bit cold as you walk by these small pockets of kind of blackened wood and stained metals. As you make your way through the town, or through the village, you eventually find yourself outside of the collected stable house that Mr. Lamont was taking residence in the last time you were in the village. You see a rather tall and slender-looking human man standing a little over 6 foot tall, currently with a heavy-set rake, and seems to be kind of collecting up a number of leaves in front of the stable that's adjoined to these two buildings. So that, again, the two buildings are side by side. They connect in the middle, and there's a stable in the middle. As they're kind of raking it up, they turn, and you can see Lamont's pack animal still stabled at this place. And he kind of turns and looks in your direction, and you hear this kind of hissing, whispering voice a bit. You hear this, "I'm sorry to misinform you all, but we have no animals for sale and nothing of relevance here. Go about your day, villagers."
We're not villagers. We're weavers chosen. We have a job to be completed for Mr. Lamont.
Never heard of no Lamont. No, not at all. Never heard of such a thing as weavers chosen either. Curious. I was informed that we wouldn't be expecting visitors for quite a many day.
Yes, well, Speed was with us.
So it was. Kind of like thinks over and looks you all up and down and goes, I was told to expect a brave and vibrant champion of justice. Where is he?
Point back at the corpse.
There's a corpse. Looks it over and goes, that does not look like what I described. This is a very dead body. And pokes Colt in
it
the
was
face.
braver and vibrant till yesterday.
Careful
So you
with them
say.
now.
Matt, am I going to offend his dead body?
I mean, he was a hero.
He's also easily offendable.
Was being the operative word here. I will think on this. Give me a moment. You see the kind of slender individual walk up to the far right door and rap their knuckles. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. You see a small kind of boarded up window on the side of the house creak open. You can hear the sound of a crank going off to the side. Does anyone here? I don't think so. Does anyone here speak deep speech? No?
No.
Okay. You see this individual kind of lean into the window, kind of give a muttering in this kind of dark or deep throated kind of sounding voice, this going back and forth before finally turning back to the group and go, all right, perhaps I believe everything that you've said here. What are your names?
Rutherfield Downbay.
JG.
Morgan.
You can call me Buck.
And you?
I'm Igor.
And who is the dead person?
That would be Mr. Honeycutt, sir.
You at least know the names correctly. I will allow you to speak with the individual who is not here. Come along, follow quickly. Walks up to the far left building and produces a key from around their kind of like crooked looking neck and unlocks a door and opens it up and goes, quickly, before all of the cold gets in.
Walks inside.
Yep, we'll go
Colt
inside.
follows behind because he's on the tray. All right. So you all enter into the room. Okay. Yeah. As you guys enter in, you see a very soft, short room. Probably no larger than that of like a child's bedroom, like a rather small building. Does not kind of belay the size from the outside. It seems much smaller than that, in fact. You see another door that kind of connects from this antechamber, and a small kind of like flight of steps that seems to ascend on the right-hand side. As the slender creature walks up, it slams its fist against the underside of the stairs, and you hear a clicking sound, and a small trap door opens up from beneath the stairs, and climbing out in a kind of bright blue vestment is Lamont, his hair a mess like a bird hive, and he goes, apologies, I thought that we would meet for breakfast after... Oh. Lady Galante's chosen. My apologies. And he starts kind of like brushing his hair. Just one moment. He dips back down beneath the trapdoor under the stairs, and you start hearing things getting knocked over, clattering, and kind of breaking. For too long, only a couple minutes, Lamont rises back up from his spot underneath the stairs and kind of pulls himself back up, and he's wearing a small kind of petticoat and a hastily thrown on shirt. His hair has been kind of just combed all to one side, and he greets you all and looks upon you and goes, oh, welcome back, my dear friends, the Weaver's Chosen of Lady Galante. You all have returned with expedited speed. Truly, you are masters of reality. Tell me, are we ready to leave on this venture? I have told my associates that you are the best that coin can buy, and we'll be leaving as soon as you arrive. So, here you are. Shall I fetch our things and we will hit the road?
There's a few matters to discuss first.
Is there?
So we're familiar with your employers having access to, well, more than we do at this time. We had a slight incident last night. Mr. Honeycutt has found himself recently relieved of his life.
Lamont kind of goes, but he moves past you. He goes, oh, I can't believe it to be true, Mr. Honeycutt. My dearest friend.
Yes, one of those vile shadow creatures. It was, well, there's no one we could really put any blame on for those now, could we?
No, I can't think of a single person you could blame for that. What a terrible, terrible natural cause of tragedy. Truly.
So what we're hoping is, considering the ample means that you and your friends no doubt have, could perhaps find a solution to return him to life.
Returning him to life? Well, now that would be a matter for a cleric, or perhaps some type of spirit worker. I'm not quite sure anyone here would be able to... You have
so many contacts, though, and so many powerful friends. Certainly, it could be inquired.
Well, perhaps if we were in a more friendly area, I might know a number of people that could assist us, but here, particularly at this very point in time, I don't believe that, and you, a few of you who are trained in perception can see that the kind of the crooked man that's standing by the door seems to be like slowly shaking its head towards Lamont. He goes, no, I don't think anyone here would be able to undo such a malady at this time, especially being that such things are rather... I mean, they're rather peculiar to be able to be undone. Typically, death is a rather permanent solution to
I found that to not be true at all. But if we are to be so weakened, we may be unable to help you. So if you can't provide the means to rescue him, I don't know if we can successfully escort you to your final destination.
You hear from behind you, and you hear, "See, I told you they were nothing but cowards and weaklings. We will await another sellsword to join us in our ventures. These people are nothing but cowards and pathetic squall." And you kind of see Mr. Lamont like, they're not. Again, with all due respect, Lady Velithidal, I do believe that in this instance, I do want to not have emotions guide our hands or causes. We very much would welcome your group to assist us in this venture, but at this time, with the current resources that we have available, I do not believe that would be within my grasp. We did not foresee needing a cleric of some renown in our venture here. We had assumed that individuals like myself and those who my employers have sent to help ensure this task be done would be sufficient without the requirement of a formal, well, I'm not sure what you would call that, a revivalist? We'll say revivalist.
If I could ask, Mr. Lamont, and
Yes.
perhaps your friend here, how have y'all kept safe the last few nights here?
Oh, well, I mean, I think the homestead has just been rather cozy. We kept the doors closed, locked up tight at night.
So I'm assuming you're using magics, perhaps, to ward yourselves.
Well, a really solid door for the most part. You kind of hear this, like, again, the kind of crackling voice from the thin man, kind of cut out from behind you. He goes, I was unaware that there was any problems in this village. It seems rather safe. Yeah, I mean, we haven't had anything. I mean, someone tried to overcharge me for apples the other day, but otherwise, swimmingly. Great village.
So nothing about the shadow creatures.
Oh no, not since the road. Did you encounter them on your way back to town?
That was what killed Mr. Honeycutt.
Oh, the same ones. Well, I'm terribly sorry to hear that. The roads are truly a dangerous place these days, it would seem, and I'm ever so sorry.
Well, they'll just continue to be a thorn in our side.
Certainly. Well, of course, if there's anything that we can do about it, then I would hope that you, Weaver's Chosen, would see it done as a heroic effort of valor, and now filled with vengeance to uphold the honor of Mr. Honeycutt.
Yes, well, that was my original hope, to venture into the forests and deal with those things before we made our way with you. Unfortunately, death surrounds us.
It seems as if you've
Now we
had
find
a rather
ourselves.
bad run of luck, I would call it. I wouldn't say it's surrounding you, but it seems rather unfortunate.
Death does surround me. But that's not the point. Would your friends in our destination be able to provide a solution to Mr. Honeycutt's condition?
Perhaps. Our destination does have a number of individuals that might have access or knowledge of those who could help, but that journey is so many days from now. It would be a perilous one.
What if we took that journey by ship?
Well, he kind of looks at the thin man in the door, and you kind of hear like a kind of clicking sound a little bit, and reaches into its front pocket, produces a folded piece of paper, and looks it over. And you hear, even by ship at this time of year, it would take at least 3 to 4 days by my accounts, unless the ship was rather fast and its crew rather experienced. To go any faster, you'd risk slicing the hull open with shattered ices. Where we intend to go, it would be perilous.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, it would be about 10 days that we have to, at the simplest means. So, 4 to 5 days wouldn't be a problem now, would it?
Perhaps. You hear Lamont goes, well, that's good news then to us. If that would help reduce the timetable that such things could be performed, then I would be all for it. Provided we leave right away and we make sure that time is on our side. we could venture just this afternoon, and as soon as that is possible. I wouldn't be able to promise anything, but we definitely could make that connection. I believe rather firmly that we could do this. And you kind of see, again, those who we trained in perception, you see the thin man kind of like give a soft nod. He goes, well, we can at least make the introduction, but I can't imagine that Proud Weavers Chosen don't have similar connections in your hometown. I know that many of them are rather powerful individuals themselves.
Yes, but steps backwards don't get us forward.
I suppose that makes as much sense as anything else you're saying.
There's also the matter of finding another muscle, shall we say, before we get on the road.
With a good amount of discretion, too.
Well, again, you're the muscle that I requested. I'm not quite sure. Our go-to, should you have not returned within the time frame that we had discussed, would have been to attempt to venture it alone and recruit anyone here in the village that we could manage to, hire on as additional hands. But, of course, I had faith in you all, and here you all are. The best that coin can purchase, and the best that, we could muster. Truly, valiant foes now who have defeated darkness where it stood twice.
Without a sword and shield ahead of us, we're going to be in a lot of shit.
Well, I do understand that much. While we can't assist here with the individuals that we are looking to travel with you, perhaps there is someone else that could do such a thing, or another instance of magic at your disposal. I'm quite aware Miss Velithil boasts acclamation to such magical abilities and acuities. Is this not something that is within your realm, miss?
To summon an ally?
To recover your sword and shield, or I'm not quite sure what you're on about. Again, our request, my humble missive, was to your lady that we again partake in your things here. While we are not quite set to leave, we certainly can at the drop of a hat. But for the rest of you, if this is something that you're in need of, I'm not quite sure what your
No, I quite understand, Mr. Lamont. It's a matter we have to handle for ourselves. We do have one last option before us, but it is important that you be informed to hopefully be ready to leave before this evening. Before more, I looked at the thin guy, nothing comes.
Oh, very good indeed. We can have the horses ready, and we can have our other traveling compatriots meant to move. Mean we to take this that you will be using a ship procured?
Yes, we have it docked, and I will describe the location past the bridge. I don't remember exactly how it was.
Lamont kind of like thinks about this, and he goes, "Oh, well, I don't want to think anything of it, but do you think that the Oren brothers will..." And you hear the kind of thin man like click its teeth and look at him and go,
"We will make arrangements for what is most likely to succeed in this venture, and nothing more and nothing less."
He goes, "Very, very well spoken, my friend. Well then, we will head to your ship, your docked ship, and we will make arrangements to leave this afternoon. Certainly anyone you can scrounge up in town, if you feel that you would require the assistance of a commoner, or one who is not acclimated to that of the life of a Weaver's Chosen, then by all means, I welcome them on, but of course we wouldn't be able to finance them, as we are already setting aside much of this venture in bringing you all on, and that of the goodwill of your Lady Gulanti."
Of course.
Well then, it sounds as if we have preparations to make, and he looks to the thin man and he goes,
"Yes, many preparations, many indeed. Very well, Weavers Chosen of Gulanti. May you greet us at the open waters. We will look forward to you.
With that, he...
May I ask your name?
Who, the Thin Men? You see
Yeah.
them kind of look over at you and like curiously look you up and down and go,
Perhaps we will be traveling together. This could be beneficial. You may call me Wilbus.
And until we meet you on the ship, Wilbus, Mr. Lamont, I wish you a good afternoon.
Good afternoon indeed. Starting noon.
you hear the door unlock and open, and Wilbus opens the door for you all to exit.
Well, we go back to point 1, but we do have to move forward. So the question is now, do you want to attempt to use the lamp, or do you want to hire someone until we can hope to revive Colt in that city?
Iskander.
Iskander.
Well, it wasn't promised that they would do anything. But at the same time,
Even if they won't do anything, we'll be in a location where we can then do something. It still moves forward with the promise that we've made not only to our employers here, but Our Lady that we would take this mission, and it will also provide us with either them the means for us to do this, or ourselves to find someone to do it.
It's true.
But if you don't trust them, we can attempt the lamp, as foolish as that may be.
Well, if we attempt the lamp, I couldn't think of a better place than here if any carnage were to go sideways and start wrecking things around.
For what, right at this stable?
Yep.
Absolutely not.
we are still.
We will venture from outside of the city, because if something is released here that causes carnage, you can't promise that it would attack our delightful friends here in the stable. It wouldn't go and immediately tear the warden's head off instead.
I suppose you're right.
So we wouldn't want to harm Colt's girlfriend.
I did nothing with this woman.
It's like I can still hear him. I can still
We
hear his
could,
voice in these halls.
Finally, I can speak to the dead spirits. I knew it was coming.
We could head to the Iron Tooth Lodge and see if we can find someone to take Colt's place at the front of the line.
Is everyone okay with that? Planning to
we
save
can
Colt after
try.
we arrive in Iskander?
We could try. I don't think my type's welcome there, so I'll just stay at the inn.
You all know that anyone who is not a local is not welcome there for the most part.
I could also just see them, wanting to stay and defend their stead rather than go wandering off when their home is under attack, or has been at least.
Well, you never know. There might be someone with a life of adventure on the mind. I mean, it is a lodge of hunters and ostensibly tough people with weapons.
What's the play, y'all? What do you want to do?
Markham Southwell in particular has a very good rapport with me, so just saying.
So, Bucky, you're in favor of going to recruit someone new. Orville, what do you want to do?
I don't really know at this time, Bill.
JJ, any opinions?
I mean, if Bucky wants to go ahead and go do that, he's free to. I'm on standby for if we decide to go explosive.
Would you prefer that option?
I can't say. It's whatever the
Okay.
group thinks.
Quite understandable. Morgan?
I suppose recruiting somebody might be the best option. But have we decided if we're going to try the lamp outside the city first?
Well, to me, what I'm seeing here is if we recruit someone who is capable of filling Colt's role, we would do our best to not use the lamp and make our way to our end goal and revive him in that city within the allotted time that we have remaining. If we cannot recruit someone, then seems opinions may be to attempt the lamp.
Bucky's gonna like poke at himself and be like, "I'm squishy. I don't wanna be at front."
Darling, I'm a wizard and I've put myself in danger's way in every fight we've had so far. Sometimes you have to do shit you don't want to do. We're Weaver's chosen.
I guess.
But do you want anyone to go with you, Bucky, or do you think you'd have best fortune alone in speaking with them?
I had a pretty good rapport with the man who ran the lodge, so I think I could maybe convince him to find someone to help us if he wasn't willing to do it himself.
Then my question still stands. Do you want anyone to go with you?
No, I think I could probably talk to him without any accompaniment.
Alright then. The rest of us shall go and wait at the inn then?
All right.
Certainly. JJ's gonna tap him on the shoulder and say, "Good luck. Hope you can help us." Or help.
I
them."
hope so too.
All right. So you all head off to the inn. You cart your way back from town. Bucky, you make way over to the lodge itself. You do see Markham Southwell. Let's pull him up. Bam, and bam. So, you see Markham Southwell standing outside of the lodge. As you approach, you hear, "Hey there, Satyr. It's been some time since I've seen you. How goes things? Staying safe, I hope."
Well, sir, Mr. Southwell, we ran into some problems fighting those shadow creatures, and I was wondering if you could help me find someone to fill our friend's spot while we go abroad.
Fill the spot of your friend? You're which one? The short green one, or one of the young ladies?
The big red guy, Colt Honeycutt, unfortunately fell in battle.
Oh, my condolences for your loss. As far as for someone to replace a Weaver's Chosen, I can't say I'd trust anybody in town to do that. If you want, I could put out feelers through those who come and travel, but it is the winter season, so we don't see too many new faces. I mean, if you'd like, I could still put feelers out, maybe write a letter to one of the other lodge members, and see if they have somebody, maybe, well, how soon would you need to be in contact with somebody?
Well, we're a bit pressed for time. We're supposed to leave today on a ship, but we need some strong young man or woman with a shield and a sword and a desire for a life of adventure.
Well, anyone who would be so optimistically foolish to do such a thing, we'd have already told them the life of adventure awaits mere but a few days south from here. Much of the city of Direwood itself is a beacon of hope for those who want to become adventurers, and of course those who want to follow in the teachings of Osen.
I agree, and if I had time, I would certainly return to Direwood, but unfortunately, our business takes us further north.
Well, perhaps if you had some time, I would recommend you go off and pick yourself up a fine shield and some sturdier armor, and maybe you could be that hero you're looking for.
I prefer to use other means.
Well, I'm not sure how kindly people would be taken to being used, but best of luck on finding them.
Well, I thank you for your help, sir, and if you could put out feelers, I would appreciate it, and hopefully, in the meantime, I can find someone.
Of course. Well, happy searching, and if I do manage to come up with somebody who is eager enough to assist and stand alongside Weaver's Chosen, I will, I'll of course send them your way, and look forward to a finder's fee of such things.
Oh, of course, I would be happy to pay you a finder's fee, and if you could recommend any place where I might find such a tough person.
Oh, in Grim Village, have you met the warden?
I have met the warden,
She's
but
rather
I
tough.
feel she's rather preoccupied with her own problems.
It is a trying time here in the village, that's for sure. I know much of the lodge members at this point are resting up and trying to do their best to ensure they're prepared for the night ahead. I'm not quite sure if there's anyone you'll be able to find, but again, best wishes to you, and may the Luck of Ocean reach out to you and truly guide you in these trying times.
One thing you might not know is that if we continue further north, these shadow creatures may stop attacking us and your village, and we could be doing each other a favor.
Well, that is good information to hear. What would lead you to believe that these creatures would move with you?
I have a feeling they're after some of our magical abilities.
Oh, okay then. Well, I do understand the feeling that the world does turn around the feet of a Weaver's Chosen, but even in the days that you were not present, they still assaulted and came to our village. What makes you so sure that you all are the primary target?
Well, we've been attacked multiple times, including on the road, and when we returned, we were attacked again. So I do believe that we are the targets. I think if we moved out of your village, they might follow us.
And you said that you had plans to leave this very evening?
That is a fact.
Well, certainly. Is there anything I can get you on your way to go? Perhaps a fine bit of rations, or my blessings, or maybe a quiver of arrows. Anything to get you gone as quickly as possible.
Any help that you would offer, I would gladly take. And please just keep an eye out for any adventurers that might be able to help us.
Sure. I will definitely keep an eye out for individuals like yourself. And here, something for the road. And he goes and turns to like the front porch that he's sitting on, and he opens up a small box and pulls out a kind of a small package, and walks up to you and kind of hands it to you. And it's a leather bound kind of bit of like square boxing. You're not quite sure what's in it, but it's just a small package with a heavy set iron buckle on the top of it. He goes, "Make good use of those rations. May they warm your belly and motivate you to leave this village as quickly as possible and take all this death and destruction with you. Truly, you're doing the Weaver's work and ensuring that darkness only follows you and not the rest of our people."
I thank you, sir.
I thank you immensely, and if this means that I get a restful night's sleep this evening, truly you are a hero to me, eternal.
I wish you a good day.
And a good day to you as well.
And Bucky will return to the inn.
All right, heads back. Before too long, you return back to the inn. Your friends are now settling into a table at the inn, and you arrive with no issues.
Well, I got some rations and Our friend at the Iron Tooth Lodge will keep an eye out for anybody that might be able to help us, although he was skeptical that we might find someone in the village, as many of these people are not trained warriors.
Sounds about right. So, what's our next move, folks?
Look at the warden.
I mean,
Yes.
if the warden and Colt were both military, they're sworn to an oath type, and I can't foresee her leaving. I mean,
Oh, no, I don't imagine that she would leave. What I'm thinking is that if we inform her of a few matters, namely that if we are expedient, we will be able to hopefully save Colt, and that once we leave, so will the shadows. Now, she'll do one of two things. She will either arrest us immediately, or she'll help us.
Chat.
She may be able to provide someone who could fill the role you're hoping to fill.
You make good points.
I was hoping to speak with her before we left, as I did want to leave things on a more positive note, but that was before all the negativity came. To try and at least alleviate part of the belief that we are the cause of all of her problems, even though it's not entirely wrong.
I would definitely be for talking to the warden, although perhaps somebody else should do it because I don't think she likes me.
Oh no, I have no problem speaking with her. She's a delightful woman. But I just want to make sure that we are willing to take that route, as it could greatly bite us in the ass.
What do y'all think?
I mean, if she can offer help, it's worth a shot, right?
yeah, it sounds worth a try. I mean, for what it's worth, I don't think she'll arrest us.
I mean, do we have to mention that
If she believes that the threats to her city are leaving, she'll be more apt to actually provide us assistance. If we ask her for help and tell her that we're going to try and save Colt, but don't tell her that the shadows are going to keep coming every night, she's not going to provide anyone.
If that's the route y'all want to go, let's go for it.
I feel it's that, or dreadful unknown. It's like some kind of horrible mystery box.
I mean, it is kind of a dreadful unknown on whether she wants to lock us up or not.
Well, I won't act without the group's support on it, so once again, I believe we are down to a vote.
Aye.
Sure.
Right?
Get that generosity in there. Look at that generous dead man.
Apparently, I gotta keep him dead. He'll be very generous. Although I think his camera froze. All weird things.
It's because he's dead. It's all frozen. It's all rigor mortis.
It's all frozen. It's all locked in.
Yeah, he's dead and packed with snow. He ain't going anywhere.
He's just a very
Okay,
steadfast
so let me-
face.
He just looks so intense.
Get a 100% on. Uh-oh.
There we go. There it is. We're back.
On if everyone's okay with this, or if they want to try something wacky. I feel like this is a wacky path because I'm so afraid that I'm just gonna get locked away in jail, which will make me as useless as Colt. So you all just have to go with that.
You just have to finesse it. I'll go with you.
Ah,
Break
shit,
it up.
Bell's in jail.
Ah, shit.
I got you. lock
10,000 years
pick.
in the dungeon.
That's what
Oh,
I'll
come
get
on
for
now,
wanting
jail
to
ain't that
trust the law
bad.
enforcement.
It's either that or the lamp at this point.
That's what I'm saying, and I
Really, pick your poison.
Yeah.
I
You
can pick
know.
the lock. I can't defend us against a giant demon.
The thing to keep in mind
What?
again is that with Grim Village, you're working with people who are primarily farmers and hunters. They're not adventurers. They're not.
I know. I'm
military
I'm hoping
individuals.
that like one of her guard or something that she might be willing to spare if
Yeah, well,
we could convince her.
that's kind of the
That's-
over under, right? Is like in this setting, you all are an elite class of people. You're people who like go hunt monsters for funsies and walk into shadows and talk about assaulting the source of evil and doing heroic things. The people that are here are people that are trying to make like lives for themselves.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what you're looking for versus what you're at. Again, before committing to traveling north, you know could have potentially headed south and gone to Direwood, but that is definitely a ship that you've now prepped to sail. But yeah, as far as for like what insight in the group would tell you versus like you all as players, you know that even the warden herself is not a particularly high level NPC. She's just the ruling authority on the farmlands around here. And
Right.
then
So no one can actually help us. Let's go use the lamp. Let's die.
why is Colt's thing turning green? That's weird.
Bell's giving up. We should be worried.
Is that his green light? That says like go for it. It turns the whole
What's
screen.
going on? I don't
That's the
understand.
decay
What's
setting
going
in.
on with my camera? Is
Is it a
it
new
dying?
No,
No.
it's fine. He's starting to decay.
Yeah.
More ice.
Discord eventually hits a point where it just starts hating people's cameras. It's the reason. Whoa. It's the reason
Okay.
why with my camera I had to go through OBS. So I have to create a virtual webcam because Discord doesn't actually like the Aukey webcam that I use. It's usually webcams that don't have drivers is like their big thing because they update Discord so often that sometimes they're just an issue.
It's funny. I have a plug-in and it just works fine. But that's off topic.
Sometimes that works.
Uh,
So
Yeah.
What's the
So
play,
like we'd
y'all?
have to get the whole guard with us to actually represent being like a player.
yeah, effectively. I mean, you're looking at like the typical villager is like a CR 1/8, I think, and then your guard for this place would be like even lower than first level.
If it's a
Okay.
regular guard, it's CR1.
Ooh, that's the fancy city guards you're talking about. They must be
Oh,
nice.
okay.
We can make him a sidekick. Just
You could get a sidekick.
I don't know.
Hmm.
Like I could go talk to her, but now I know that I can't actually get anything useful. So
So the upside of it is gone. The only thing that's left is the downside of getting arrested.
Going
I
to
was-
prison.
kind of hoping that
Been there, done that.
potential useful.
We just
things
tell
in the
Lamont that
city.
we've been held up.
So hear me out. Alright? I know I'm not a part of this. We give the body to Fortune. He wears the skin suit. And then he is just as strong as Colt. I'm just saying.
You just play Fortune. Fortune, the Colt cosplayer.
if that's what he wants to do, I am so down for that.
just spiraling into madness at this point.
Welcome to the
So
game.
at this point, it's lamp or just head to the ship.
Lamp or bury him. Or try to find a way to keep his body on ice for days.
I thought there'd be more potential options, so I wanted to keep us on task. But
And
your task is not the options.
Just to add this, I want to say this again. I'm not mad either way. Whatever you guys want to do, just do whatever y'all want to do. I don't consider me, Joel, in this. And my camera is frozen in a very great way.
no, I hear
Awesome.
you. It's just I think everyone's characters, except for mine, are pretty much in agreement of wanting to save you, and it's only because, you know, I'm kind of a bitch who doesn't understand why things that don't live over 100 years should be valued.
The thing that can suck up like 50 hit points of damage a fight. Don't understand.
Can't lose it.
I'm just leaving my picture like that because I'd
It's
rather
the
enjoy it.
The rest of the night, I'm down. It looks great.
Do we have the option of telling Lamont that we have another errand before we leave? Like, can we
Yeah.
catch him before the ship?
I mean,
You
we
have the
told
option.
we could go and try and tell him to be ready tomorrow or something.
I was thinking, like,
'Cause
going back down south, but
here's my problem with that. If we don't take Lamont with us, we are giving this city, 2 more days of shadow destruction?
Yeah, and I don't think the city holds up through that.
And that's my problem, that if we're not going to go to the source and deal with it, I can't want to leave Lamont here, because that's just more turmoil for the city. And that's my problem with not moving this out of here. It has to leave the city.
Maybe there's a way to have both of those things happen. Like, just go south
I
don't think
with
that's
Lamont.
what we want to do. Plus, we'd be bringing that to Direwood. It's full of heroes.
also, our employers would probably shake their heads in a manner that was also punching us in it. I don't think they'd be happy with that at all.
I mean, they wouldn't be happy if we all died because we didn't have someone to defend
I
us.
don't think that they care that much about our lives. We are literally just bodies that are getting in the way of shadows.
I don't know. Our lady seemed awful interested in that stone or that artifact.
I don't know if she wanted it, or if she just wanted to be able to choose who she got favor from to deliver it to someone else.
But these employers...
If we don't trust these guys.
Yeah, and these employers are the ones that don't really care about us.
Because the whole kings versus kings is a little over her head. I don't think she wants to be the one who's like, I stole this from a king, and now everything's gonna fall on my ass.
Yeah, no, she doesn't want that, but she absolutely wants the power that comes with the information that so-and-so artifact went to so-and-so place and was delivered to so-and-so.
And have the favor from whichever one it goes to.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the information that matters to her.
I agree. It's definitely in her interest to have at least a little bit of a say.
Alright, so really, we've got 2 options, which are either we move forward and hopefully we actually make it to the city to bring Colt back, or we use the lamp and try and bring him back right now, because obviously we're not really going to find anything in the city that can help us.
Fortune skin suit. I'm down.
Don't in-game suggest that to Val.
we do a Twitch poll. Do a chat poll in Twitch.
Well, Skin Suit's gonna win.
I meant lamp or cruising out of here,
Fortune.
but Joel, you can't vote.
That's
I don't
not me.
know. We are
That
the
is
players.
just a
It's in our hands.
that's
to
just a
decide this.
bystander named Plastic Blaster. That is not me.
Yeah, I'm loving that
biggest
this
fan?
is we have such an indecisive party that we're gonna poll Twitch.
Hey, why not?
Our players can't decide. What do you
Pull the
guys
10 people that are in chat,
Because we should
in which 6 of us
make
are in
that
there.
decision.
So technically polling 4 people.
It's not
We're
legally
polling
binding.
4 people. There we go. Our four people that watch.
Okay, I'll just go ask them all to vote for what my suggestion is, because they're all
Whoa.
players in my game.
Brutal. Or you all just make choices.
Do you
Just
want me to
decide
have
for
more
me.
Yeah.
power?
We got a few for
We have 2 versus 1 for the lamp.
I am one of those too. So
I see what 1, 2, 3 people. Up to you guys.
I'm actually just kidding. It's up to you guys.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ! Somebody make a decision.
Of course.
All right, we're doing
One of
one.
Okay, lamp.
One
JJ
of
is
5
going
of
to
you.
take the lamp.
JJ
And she-
grabs the lamp.
It's all yours.
She will.
We're taking this outside
Get
the
this
city,
done.
right?
Yeah, she's gonna go outside the city.
Okay.
Probably over by Quas's old building.
Okay. So, are you going by yourself or going with anyone else?
I am going.
Oracle's going.
I am
drag
going to be the
Colt's
fodder
body.
between the face-eating demon and everybody.
Yeah,
else.
she's going to need me to go, because otherwise you're not getting Colt's heavy ass over there, so
She's
I'll be
dragging
going.
Colt's body by the feet.
Just yanking him around town.
She's gonna turn into her shifter self and drag his body.
All right. So, you guys head out to Quas's old setup. You see that it's been not so much picked apart, but definitely like fixed up a little bit. There's some like cleanliness to it. You see at the kind of front of it, kind of sweeping and cleaning up the front porch, the rather familiar face of. Oh, bam! Can I pull it up in time? We're getting better at this. Fortune, sitting on the porch. As you guys all. As you all approach, he kind of looks you all over, and you hear, "Oh, hey, good to see you. We just fixed up the trading post, paid off a couple of things. We should be good to go in the next couple of days or so. So, if you need somewhere to sleep, got the ferry."
Fortune, we're leaving tonight. Before I do
Oh, sure.
something probably stupid,
Sounds like a
you
thing to
don't
do.
happen to know how to bring anyone back to life, now do you?
Define life.
Life, unlife, I don't know. She's gonna point back to Colt.
Oh,
That
shit.
happened last night.
He walks up and like drops his broom and looks over at Colt's body and goes,
Ho, ho, ho. Bit the big one, didn't you sack of shit? Oh, man. Did you
Fuck you,
check him for
Fortune.
hemorrhoids? Did you check him for hemorrhoids? How many's he got? Oh, man, he's a real son of a bitch. Wow. Careful what you wish for, right? So bit of a tricky situation. I technically could help, but you're not gonna like it, and you can't hold it against me.
Can you explain what
I prefer not
it
to.
is? I gotta either use this goddamn lamp or you're gonna explain to me what you can do.
Okay. How do I explain this and not have you shriek in terror? So I'm like a really, really well-lived individual. I think that's a great way to say that. I'm a very worldly person, an earth aura, if you're into that. And from my earth aura, I have developed a rather peculiar ailment. So provided you don't need like every piece of Colt, he could totally, hang out with me and we'd be buddies, whether he likes it or not.
Bill, can you explain?
It's going to turn him into a ghoul, and
Whoa, we don't use the G word.
it's going to turn him into a non-living abled? What's the PC term?
I mean, I don't know. Ghoul's kind of that's pretty much it.
Well, Colt did say if we found a way to bring him back, that's what he wanted. He didn't say that he didn't want to be
Now
a
listen.
G word.
I'm going to
feel like
be
he's cursing
very
you.
real with you all right now. This is the best fan I've ever heard,
No.
but Cold Honeycutt would absolutely hate it.
Well, if Colt would hate it.
If only he had a choice.
Well,
I don't know.
He's not
did. He
wrong. I
kinda
don't
did.
have a choice. You guys can do whatever the fuck y'all want.
I feel like even now I can hear his voice. Being
I
upset.
keep
he was
feeling like I
cursed.
hear him here all day. It's
All
like
day.
he keeps chiming in.
I
The
hear him in
spirits
the
with
voice of every other person in this village. I see his face on every child.
Bucky's gonna use Druidcraft to make like a Colt's voice on the wind kind of deal.
Okay. You just hear the.
Don't curse me.
Don't curse
me.
Is there like anywhere that is still maybe a little further, like maybe like some tree, like a foresty area where?
Yeah, you know that
We
they're
can
like
go to that cave.
yeah, just up ahead where the cave was. You know, that's pretty
Oh.
private area.
That's perfect. Well, do y'all want to make him the G word,
Yeah, there you go.
or
Gentle.
what about? Or she's gonna shake the lamp in the air.
Oh, careful with that.
Already come this far with
might-
the lamp.
It might be less dangerous to G word Colt.
There is no danger
Like
in
I
G-wording
said,
Colt.
It's the
Yeah.
best idea that could possibly have ever happened, but
Yeah.
Colt would not like that.
I can't stand for disrespecting somebody from beyond the grave. I don't think we could do that to Colt.
I mean,
Oh no, he wouldn't be beyond the grave anymore at that point.
he's just laying there. It's like he wants it.
Oh,
Okay, that's not right.
I
You
think
know what? She's gonna keep
No
dragging
means
Colt
no.
up to the cave.
He's just like
No.
he's just like cold
Bad
to the
fortune.
touch.
Bad.
Wow.
All right, fine. Don't ask me for any favors.
Just because he's dressed like that.
You like a
doesn't
dead
mean
guy.
you-
He's not asking for it.
I don't know.
No, I think Colt.
Dead body. Kind
JJ's
of.
just dragging Colt still.
JJ, he's on my slab. Just come on. I'm not forcing this on him. We'll go do the stupid thing.
All right, have fun with your stupid thing. If you decide to change your mind, I got a bunch of pearly whites.
Thank you, Fortune. When the rest of them are all dead and I'm not, we'll have that talks about fixing them.
All right, sounds like a plan.
He walks up back up and picks up his broom and starts sweeping the front.
Bucky's just gonna like hold up his hand like 1 minute.
Yeah, 1 minute, Fortune. Uno momento, Fortuno. Are you guys heading to the cave?
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Mhm.
You easily enough head down the road about a couple hundred feet, and then finally find the break where the tree line is, leading up into the small bevel in the rocks that would lead you to the cave, where a number of the undead smugglers had kind of taken hostage of the ferry previously. Are you guys going into the cave, or are you just standing outside of it in the clearing? What do you guys want to do?
And we don't know how big what we'll be summoning could be. It could be as tiny as some fairy, or as big as, an abyssal lord.
Yeah, plus the river that kind of took Bucky and Moore out. Don't want to deal with that again.
No, let's just do it in the
here's
mountains
thing,
here, right near
right?
the entrance.
Can we like use the cave as a choke point or a bottleneck,
Sure.
and
You down
then
to do that?
like put Colt's body outside and have everybody else be safe inside?
Not sure how you're gonna accomplish
I was
this. As
thinking-
one of you has
What-
to rub that lamp 5 times.
What
Just
about
thinking
we?
of having
will
him in
stay
there.
Also-
outside.
Colt is pretty much just on a slab behind me because no one else here has any
Way to carry
means
him.
to move him.
What if we put the lamp like right at the edge of that door, the magic door, and if it's bad, we'll just chuck it in and then shut the door.
Magic.
Or-
The creature will be
A
out of the
door.
lamp once you rub it. Listen, if you want to do this and you all want to hide in the cave, I'll stand outside with Colt's body and I'll rub it. The thing
Yes,
is,
I will.
whoever
Or-
rubs it may have absolute control over this thing.
You can attach a
What if we-
string to Colt's hand and then have him rub it.
That
But then
could
you
be a
can't wish
terrible
anything.
idea
Yeah,
if
you
no
can't
one can
wish
command it then.
Say anything.
Just
I
give
don't
me
have
a wish,
mage
kid.
hand.
Give me a wish.
Fuck. What if we like rub the lamp and then yeet it into the mouth of the cave?
Oh,
I-
yeah.
So if anything goes wrong,
Even
Bucky
better.
can like block it off, you know?
Look, y'all,
Like
I'm not terribly too afraid at this point. I'm just gonna do it. Now y'all can go stand somewhere where you think is safe. I'm gonna stand over here by Colt's body.
JJ
I'm
moves
going
the
to be
lamp
out
to the
here
weapon
as well
slot.
because this is the body that I'm escorting. So what do the rest of you want to do?
Is there any like raw earth around?
Yeah, there's dirt everywhere. Go right ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna dig like a little bit of a trench with like an embankment right there,
All right.
and hide in the trench.
All right.
Why
You,
don't you just go in the cave?
No. This trench thing, he's figured it out. That's one. That's two. That's three. That's four. That's fine. All right. So as you guys are deciding what to do, you see JJ just like fucking goddamn just wipes the side of this thing. JJ, you start feeling a rattling and a shaking sound. You can see the top of the lamp begin to crack and kind of chip in various places, as you can see patina falling away from either side of it.
Mage
a-
armor.
Okay. A faint white billowing smoke begins to emanate from the kind of ending pipette from the lamp itself, and start pouring out. You feel a rumbling in the earth, and the sky begins to darken overhead, and you hear this booming voice kind of echoing out from the lamp, and you hear, "Finally, after 10,000 long years, I have returned." And you hear the top of the lamp shatter and break, and this black abyssal fog begins to pour out. And you see this demonic-looking face look up at you from the lamp and slowly begin to form and rise out of the lamp. And then you see this individual who stands about 2.5 inches tall, and he goes, "Finally! I have been freed from my imprisonment. Who among you dares awaken the mighty Vasrel?"
Hello, Mr. Vastral.
Holy shit, it's giants! I knew it 1,000 times. Only mighty giants would be able to free the great Vasil.
So, how are you?
I'm doing quite well, giantess. What is your name?
JJ, sir.
Is JJ. Well, JJ, I command you to be my horrible servant forever. Nothing happens. Like a moment passes. A bird squawks in the background. He goes, "Is JJ like a surname, or like perhaps it is like you're given? What was your born name?"
My mama taught me better, sir.
Shit. Okay, fine. All right, JJ. Fine. Shrewd negotiator. Well, the mighty Vaslar is not one who cannot thank those who have saved him from his eternal imprisonment. Tell me, surely there is something that your beating heart desires in this world? Something that I can perform for you?
Could you please just bring my buddy Colt Honeycutt back to life? He's that dead fella.
He's dead. Hold on.
And he crawls over the side of the lamp and looks out and looks over at the lifeless body and goes,
"Oh, you just want a dead guy brought back?"
Truly, that's
Yeah.
it.
Hell of a... I mean, well, perhaps it is in my mighty powers to perform such a, fucking stupid giants, Herculean event. Truly, the stars must be right for such a cataclysmic event of youthful invigorance. I will do this for a deal between you and I, JJ.
What's the deal?
Here's the deal. I'm a little short on power. I can do this very heroic thing, but it will exhaust me. It'll remove my strength. So I offer that you and I enter into a contract, one in which I will return the soul of your dearly beloved friend in exchange for a debt that you will owe me, and we will work together to have this debt paid off.
Can I ask what the debt is first?
Of course. I think it is a fair, equivalent exchange. What was the other giant's name?
Honeycut.
One honeycut brought back from the mortal coils of death in exchange for, 100 souls.
Couldn't it be souls of anything? Just
Sure.
soul?
Yeah. I mean, giant ants would work, or like a ferret, or, I'm really not picky, but I just need their energy. So we enter this contract. You destroy 100 creatures. Hell yeah, deal.
He, like, his tiny little clawed hand reaches out and you can feel one of his claws prick the inside of your palm, and a little polyp of blood kind of fills out of your hand. And you're like, well, friends forever. All right. Can you set the lamp down?
Oh, sure. She'll set it down.
It's so cumbersome.
And you set it down, and then like Colt's body's like a few feet away. He goes, oh,
A little closer.
She'll sit up on the side of the tensor's floating disc.
all right.
And
He
hold it close.
crawls out from the lamp, looks down at Colt, and he's like, wow.
Yeah, this guy's definitely dead. All right. Yep. Let me just break out some of all the old magic fingers. All right. Well, good luck.
And he hops out of the lamp, and you can see this little like stream of red dazzling light fly up into the air and then land in Colt's mouth. And you hear this like thump. And you start seeing this lump move down Colt's throat. He's like,
God, does this guy brush his teeth? It smells horrible.
and he keeps moving further and further down. He sees this lump moving down in the throat, and finally his chest starts to shake. And you start hearing this kind of like almost rhythmic kind of punching sound. It's like,
He's like, come on, just start, you piece of garbage, you piece of shit, son of a bitch.
you start seeing Colt's chest rise and fall. He's like,
God, come on, you stupid asshole.
After about 10 minutes or so, you start seeing this kind of like faint black outline begin to affix itself to Colt. You can see this kind of like guiding darkness that seems to pool from the edges of Colt's form into his chest. You can see this kind of like presence up in the clouds in the sky slowly begin to kind of connect with this encircling black vortex and pull down on Colt. And you can see for a moment the soul and spirit of Colt Honeycut be plucked from the heavens and pushed back into his body. As this calamitous event hits and strikes Colt in the chest, you hear
Oh, shit. Oh, she's alive. Fucking shit.
you start hearing a clamoring. Colt, I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage.
You better not fail this.
One hairball.
Hold on, I gotta pull up my character. I wasn't ready for that.
Say, get the hell up.
You'll see.
And give him an inspiration die for that.
Sure, you can give him an inspiration. That's fine. Come on, Colt.
Get your ass up.
Boop-a-doop-a-doop.
Oh, okay. Cool. So that's an 8, regardless.
All right. And you have an inspiration dice, which is what a
Oh, yeah.
D6.
D6er.
Sorry. So it's a 2 on the die.
A 2 on
Sorry,
the die.
I don't know why I added 6.
2's better than a 1.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's a 4.
4. Okay. So a 4 total or a 12 total?
4 total.
4 total. So you you see Colt's chest rise and fall and rise and fall. And I gotta get out of here. You start hearing like a kind of a clamoring around sound. You see Colt kind of like twist awkwardly, and you hear like this gasp, this and you start seeing this black smoke trail out of his mouth. He goes, oh shit, he's dying again. Oh fuck. And you see the lump move back down his throat. You start hearing like kind of like a more kind of like visceral like,
Come on, you piece of shit. I swear to fucking goddamn piece of garbage. Who makes giants like these anymore, son of a bitch?
and you start hearing this kind of like scraping sound at this point, and this kind of like heavy kind of pushing sound. Colt gasps. You hear his spirit enter right back into his body. He's like, all right, fuck, he doesn't need all this shit. Yeah, he doesn't need all these fucking parts. Yeah, fuck this guy. Yeah, fuck. He just needs to be alive. Yeah, fuck.
He needs all of his parts.
Okay, stop backseat demoning. Jesus.
You start hearing like all this screeching sound. Colt's skin turns eerily like this bright pinkish pale, as you can see his skin color slowly begin to kind of come back and then seem to cease. And he's like,
screw this shit. Fucking asshole, piece of garbage, not worth it.
And you start hearing, and his chest starts rising and falling. He slowly starts breathing on his own. He's like, all right, he's gonna be fine. All right. You start seeing the lump move back out of his chest, up his throat, and then finally you hear Colt and coughs up the small red creature, the red and black creature, and you see him kind of like sitting next to Colt. Colt, you're alive at 1 hit point. You have a -4 to all of your abilities. You recover 1. You reduce this negative by 1 every long rest you complete. So it'll take 4 days to be back to normal stats. And if under your flaws, please put returned under one of your flaws.
Thank you, Vassal.
Yep. Just doing my job there, giant lady. So, who do I gotta talk to about these 100 souls?
I'll get them to you.
Oh, you're gonna owe it to me?
Yes, I gotta owe it to you.
All right. Well, I can't have you running off anywhere, right? So we're bonded, you and I.
Hmm.
All right.
Why don't you just keep them in your pocket?
You want to live in that little doohickey, and I'll just carry you around?
What doohickey?
That dumb little lamp.
Oh, hell no. No, definitely not. I want a pocket.
Stay in the backpack.
Like top of your head.
That's fine.
Small throne.
Between the antlers. There you go.
Yeah.
He like crawls up your hand and like hides in the collection of your hair and like up by like one of your ears, and he lays flat. He's like,
it's warm and cozy and lovely. I'm on the rise. Look out, 9. Here I come.
With that, JJ, you have made a bond and a pact with this creature. So under flaws, write deal with Vazzler. That's VAAZZLAR. And every time that you slay a living creature or reduce a living creature to 0 hit points, and which would result with it being dead, just make a mark, and I'll try and keep track of it too. But its soul will be consumed by Vazzler and his deal. While you are still pending on this deal, you and Vazzler are bound, so 1 of your attunement slots is considered to be used.
Thanks.
With that, Colt,
We should get you a fishing rod for the trip. You could probably take care of quite a few of those.
I know.
Find the ants.
Colt, you gasp for air. You slowly feel your body come underneath. Your entire form is on pins and needles. You can see the light in the heavens in which you were attributed to, and even a bit of warmth for your past slowly fade from your soul, and again you return to the realm of the living to work and live once again as a Weaver's Chosen. As you return back, you gain your surroundings. You find yourself amid the bright open light sky of the area and cave around you. And yeah, you have returned. You look around, you can see your fellow Weaver's Chosen's concerned faces as you gasp for air.
Welcome back, Colt.
Why'd y'all pull me back? I saw Jimmy. And I saw Eustace. Saw Clayton. We were all having a dinner party up there. There weren't no 300 snakes. There weren't no fire avalanche. There weren't no mad cows or giant river fish. Alright. Thank you.
Just gone to the pyre.
Should we just lit you on
Would
fire?
you like to be
then?
dead again?
No, it's fine. I mean, at least you guys didn't try to bring me back as like a ghoul, right?
I could
What?
start on this deal if you're going to be ungrateful.
He still only counts as one.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be ungrateful. I just been through a lot. I don't. All I remember is that spider bitch. Excuse my language. That spider lady, messing me up real bad. I don't feel so great right now. I feel real weak.
You'll get better. We have work to do. JJ,
Yeah.
do you want to keep that lamp, or would you mind if I keep a hold on to it now that there's nothing occupying it?
Well, my friend ain't living in it. So go ahead, take it. She's going to pass it over.
Wait, y'all rubbed the lamp?
Hell yeah.
Look at my new buddy.
You told us to rub the lamp, Colt. I remember hearing that
Colt, the
distinctly.
warden was
I do
so
not recall
distraught we
these
could
events.
not simply leave you dead and see her crying like that again.
Wait, she was crying?
It's really heart-wrenching.
I mean, how sad was she though? Not that I really care. Just like, was she real sad?
I mean, honestly, since we didn't tell her that we actually were going to be able to find a way to bring you back, she's probably going to be more mad at you now that you're alive again.
Oh man. I mean, maybe she'll be happy though. Maybe she'll give me a hug or something. You know. I don't know.
Just a hug.
She's going to be
What's wrong?
really happy, Colt. She was awful upset about your passing.
I mean, she might be real happy. Not that I care. I don't
Shouldn't
really
feel
care
awful.
because nothing is going on between us. I'm gonna look directly at JJ. Nothing is going on between us.
JJ's
Colt, you
gonna
just
nudge
died.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yep.
Obviously, he's feeling better already.
Truly. I hope you're ready to sail, Mr. Honeycutt. We got a journey ahead.
All right. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I just came from the afterlife, but yeah, I'm down to sail, I suppose. I don't have a great story about the afterlife other than seeing Jimmy and all them. I'm sure on the trip I'll tell you all about it.
When you saw Jimmy, did he have his legs back, or is he still running around no legs?
Nah, he preferred to have no legs for some reason. I guess he got used to it.
And did it just like float around nowadays, or?
Yeah, I mean, from what I remember, he was just floating around, and he's an actual wizard up there,
Well,
which is
fancy
pretty
that.
awesome. So yeah.
And on that note, we're going to go ahead and take a break. We ponder the intricacies of Jimmy's wizard self, I guess. That's what we're going to have to do. So everyone who is still watching, we'll be back in just about 10 minutes. Cool. Welcome back, everybody. When we last left, we brought the dead back to life. Digging souls and stealing holes or what? Oh, shit. Nah, I Undertakered it again. All right. Anyway. When we last left, you guys were standing outside of the cavern that is the midpoint between Quas's questing and expeditions and the port itself. You've told the individuals in town that you're getting ready to leave this afternoon, so you've actually told Mr. Lamont to ready his people and prepare to leave by boat as soon as possible. You're expecting to leave this evening. To that accord, the world is yours to explore and do as you wish. Holt, you've been brought back, but at what horrible, terrible cost? Only time will tell.
Oh, jeez. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Are there any other matters we want to take care of in the town before we return to the boat? Personally, I do believe we should speak with the warden one more time. She did want to speak with us before we left.
Oh, man. Alright. I suppose if we're gonna do that... might as well
If you're
do
not up to it, I can understand that the lovelorn would be too much for you to handle at this time.
Oh, jeez. Alright. Go ahead, get your jokes in.
What joke?
Never mind. Let's go see the warden. I guess. Never mind. Yeah. Let's go see the warden. I'm neither excited nor dreading this moment. I am
Bucky.
right in the middle.
Bucky's gonna pat Colt on the shoulder and be like, "It's okay. You can admit it. I know you love her."
But I'm just gonna plead a soldier's Fifth Amendment and not say anything.
That usually means you're guilty, Colt.
I don't know what courtroom you've been a part of, but that doesn't mean you're guilty. I've seen plenty of very honest soldiers say that and not. I'm just trying not to incriminate myself on any other accounts. Let's go see the warden. Let's
Jesus,
go
what
see.
did you do?
Let's go see the warden. Let's go do that.
Colt starts stomping away from the group, just his legs working like that of a baby deer, one step and like a wobble, and one step and then a wobble. Just a newborn fawn as he stumbles along the roadside. You guys head back from this adventure, or rather this instance. You head past the trading post. You see Fortune standing on the porch, sweeping and like giving an eye out and looking in your direction. He kind of looks you over and sees Colt marching kind of up in arms, like angry walk Colt. And as he sees this, he kind of like narrows his view and he goes, so he's alive again. Welcome back.
Thanks, Fortune.
Yeah.
I don't suppose that they were trying to get you to make me like you or something.
I asked Colt, but we thought better.
We're not gonna lie to him. Okay, yeah, no, totally, man. We'd have been best friends forever, my man. Best friends forever.
And
Colt, it was a wonderful option, but we knew that you might not appreciate it, so we didn't take it.
I would have hated that. I'm not going to lie about that.
Well, then we made the right decision.
All due respect, Fortune, but I would not have wanted to be a ghoul.
Well, we don't use that word.
We say the G word, Colt.
Gentlemen.
Oh, I would not have wanted to be a green-skinned gentleman.
Okay. Don't know why you needed to preface it there, but okay, sure. I see that. I mean, I guess it's better than being a cold red slab on the side of the road. You're right. You got the moral high ground there on me, kid.
Listen, we started fresh the last time. I just got back from dying apparently, so let's just start fresh again. All right? We're cool. All right? Me and you, we're people that know each other. How about that? There we go.
I guess that sounds like a thing that's true. All right, then. Yeah. Person I know. Can I borrow 10 gold?
No. You can't.
What a fuck. Okay.
What do you need 10 gold for?
Huh? It's what people who know each other do, right? We borrow gold from each other all the time. Just like a small loan.
How about this? Lend me the 10 gold, I'll give you 10 gold.
No.
I'm not falling to that trap. Then I owe you. Not doing it.
Yeah, that's how that. What?
Yeah. I figured you out already there, Red Guy. You're not as smart as you think you are.
He did just come back from the dead.
Yeah, I mean, and everyone knows that dead. Wait a second. I can't. Have a great day. Walks. Now Fortune does the angry walk into in the trading post. So with that, you guys, you guys make your way through the village. You head where to the warden's office?
Yep.
Beep boop. Okay. You head out to the warden's office. As you walk into the small shop, you are rather small, kind of like it's not even like a post. It's really just like a house or like a small building they've remade into an area for the warden. Boop-a-doo. Oh God, you didn't do this, did you? You bastards.
We didn't do what?
Oh, they did it. They did it. So, you guys.
God,
You guys.
damn
You're
it!
welcome.
That was really
I
quick.
donated 900 points.
Oh, that's something. So, you all walk in to the shop of the warden. We're going to finish one thing at a time. You walk into the shop of the warden. You again see her second here, Patrick Pennant. He looks you all up and down. He goes, "Well, now, good to see you all, and I am very happy to hear that this morning's news was nothing but a clear fabrication and fake news. Good to see you among the breathing, waking world there, Colt Honeycutt."
Good to see you as well. I definitely died. I'm not gonna lie. I've died, but I'm back now.
Okay. Well, you're looking great for being dead.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Happy to do so. What brings you in here? Any calamity or horrible things you're bringing to my doorstep?
I guess we gotta talk to the warden because she thinks I'm dead, and we just gotta discuss some things with her.
Well, you're gonna be hard up for talking with her. She headed over to the North End Farms to check up on them. There's reports of damage from last night, as well as a number of distressing things as the cold is rolling in from the forest.
All right, could I just leave her a note for now?
Was going to be my suggestion, actually.
Sure, yeah. Let me see here. And he reaches through his desk and produces like a few scraps of paper and a quill. And he sets it on there. He goes, "Yeah, go ahead and leave her a note. Whatever you write her, I'll make sure she gets it."
All right. So, dear warden, this is Colt. It's me. I set fires. You know this. I'm still alive. Well, I was dead. And then they brought me back to life. I'm gonna ask them how they did it. I'm pretty sure I'm cursed. But no need to worry. I'll see you when we get back. Bye. Colt Honeycutt.
JJ's gonna watch over his shoulder as he writes it.
JJ, you note a number of poor penmanship and things of like a trembling hand, as he is very weakened in this current state. But he writes what he says, and he says what he writes.
How many eyes were dotted with hearts?
0. One of them looks like it might even be like the opposite of a heart. So whatever that would be.
I don't believe it.
No. So
like a liver?
Oh, what just happened?
Oh, Bucky's camera went out. Bucky, why? Why? It rotates everything. Why, Bucky? Why do you hate? Yeah, you finished the there we go. Thank you, Bucky. You can black your screen out. Just don't turn your camera off, because then it puts you in alphabetical order the wrong way.
I don't know why that happened.
It's super weird. Discord's being a jerk. We finally get the stream part working, and then Discord's the issue now. You finish your letter, and he kind of looks you over. Patrick looks you over and goes,
So, is that it then, Colt?
Yeah, that's it, Patrick. I think we weren't here for any other reason, right? Oh,
Well, we
guys.
were hoping to inform her. She did want to speak with us before we left, and we will be making our way onward. We didn't want any ill will or concerns. I believe that some troubles will be left behind. The city has a good future.
Probably shouldn't say that. We don't want anyone to think that.
Well, we've been successful in turning the tide thus far. So, if the Weaver's
I think
chosen
that
to see
our
what we're made
efforts
of,
last night really affected them. I doubt they'll come back tonight.
well, again, if you Weaver's chosen say so, we'll hope that's enough.
Of course. Stay vigilant. May your city fare well.
More village than the city, but thank you all the same, ma'am.
All right, Patrick. It's good to see you again. I'm gonna go for like the arm shake.
He stands up from where he's sitting and shakes your arm. He goes, "Well met, my friend, and may the road or whatever element you travel across rise to meet you on the way out."
I appreciate it, Patrick, and be safe out here. We'll return and we'll try to see if we can do anything, if there are any future problems. But I'm sure that you guys are fully equipped to handle whatever's left.
We'll hope that we are. Thanks.
No problem.
He goes and turns and sits back down and starts folding up your letter and puts it in a desk drawer just to make sure he doesn't lose it. So yeah. Okay. Anything else you guys want to do
I'm
in town?
sorry you didn't get to see her, Colt. I know you wanted to tell her how you felt.
I don't know what you mean. Let's go ahead and meet with our employers, right? It's time to go do that. And I'm gonna
Actually, they'll
walk
be
off.
meeting us at the ship, so we can just head there.
Okay, and I turn around.
All right. So you all exit the carrier of the warden. You begin to make your way back to the east end of town, towards where Quas's trade post is, and of course where the ferry is docked. As you do so, and you guys wander through town, you continue to see a number of individuals kind of like standing aimlessly around town. They seem to be like all kind of like awestruck and looking up into kind of like up into the sky. Before long, you all kind of turn and look and kind of see like what everyone's staring at. On the horizon, you can see a bolt, a black, sickening, almost strange-looking blade of eclipsing twilight pierce the horizon and retch up into the sky above. You're not quite sure where it comes from, but it's somewhere far to the south. And a number of people are just staring and pointing and like awestruck as they kind of look over at this weird and very unknowable phenomena that has occurred to the south.
Without nature, I probably couldn't get a good estimation
For distance?
of like where it is, if it's a city or just somewhere on the map.
From here, you know that it's probably more than several miles, if not several hundred miles from you. It's kind of, again, you're at the part now where like visible sight is well beyond where it's at.
Yeah.
But it is, whatever it is, it's large enough to be viewed from several miles away, from some quite distance away.
What direction was it?
Southward.
Okay.
Would I be able to do anything with this knowledge and proficiency with cartographer's tools, or no?
Sure. You pull out your cartography tools. Go ahead and here and give me a wisdom check.
That's 21.
21. You look out and you see that this is emanating from somewhere in the somewhere in the area of Ravon. You're not quite sure. It does look like it cuts over the Ravani Range, which is the southern mountain range that separates the lands of Ravon from the northern areas that lead into Oscuth. But yeah, with a 21, you can't like pinpoint it, but you definitely can tell that it's somewhere in the area of Ravon.
All right, cool.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that was weird. All right. So you see this. Many people are just awestruck. They carry. Then eventually, people start like carrying about their day. After about 5 minutes or so of just this like beam of light, this kind of like bleak, dawning twilight. Slowly, you see it crackle and pop, and slowly fade from visible sight.
What the
Well-
hell is that?
That's a fine omen.
Would I recognize that as maybe a flare as a soldier?
If you ever owned a flare that was visible that brightly from that far away, the military would have
Yeah.
invented phones by now.
Could I do an Arcana or History?
For just to find out about
if
it.
this has any relevance or significance, or perhaps could be presumed to be connected to anything.
Sure, you could roll. History probably wouldn't help you, but you definitely could roll Arcana.
That's a 15.
15. You don't know of any spell that would cause this. You're not sure of any arcane phenomena that would cause this. You are sure that whatever it is would require a intense amount of energy to perform something like that.
Okay.
But the moment passes, the members of the village kind of go about that and go, well, wasn't that pretty? And they start walking about and going about their daily lives.
Anyone
Well, that was
have-
weird. Is everyone still alive?
Yep, I think so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a good hard look at Colt,
I'm alive.
just to be sure.
With
I'm
the
alive,
exception of
although-
our friend Fortune here, I'm sure everyone is still alive.
Vassar, you ever seen anything like that?
What?
That big old whatever the hell.
Oh no, never seen anything like this at all. I'm telling you, these are some of the most disgusting split ends I've ever seen in my life.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. If I might make a suggestion, you really should invest in maybe like a moisturizer or like a comb. It's pretty naughty back here.
You could start combing it out if you want.
Will do.
You start feeling
JJ,
tugging immediately as like he starts scraping his claws in your hair, and you just see like it's kind of like when you first shave a bit of a poodle, and there's just like that fluff that comes out from the back of her hair. As you turn and look, Colt, you can see like these like puffs and tufts of hair being like thrown out of the back of JJ's head.
JJ, what the hell is that on the back of your head?
That's what saved your life.
What do you mean what saved my life? Your hair? Do you have
Yes.
magical hair?
Yes.
You didn't tell me
exactly what
this. Alright. Well, I say we take a detour. We go find where Jimmy was buried, and we use JJ's magical hair to revive Jimmy. Because listen, you've
Colt,
not
we don't
told
need
me.
to add 100 more souls to JJ's hair count.
I'm just gonna
Wait,
go on a
what
record
the
here and
hell?
as I didn't make him any stupider than this. This is exactly how he came.
No, you did. Out of character, you did, because my stats are real bad right now.
I know what you're talking about, kid.
It's the
Also,
old Cody
who
Rhodes
is
story.
what is talking? Does your hair speak too?
Have you never noticed that before?
Just more tufts of hair coming out.
That's
Am I
what
in
all
hell?
men-
Am I in hell? Is this hell? This is hell. I'm not really alive.
Plural.
You guys
We
didn't
might
revive
eventually
me.
be there.
Colt, plural.
Hells.
Hells.
Yes.
Hells.
Yes, there's 9 of them.
There's 9 of them? Anyway. Stop correcting me. You demon person.
I mean, there might be a 10th one.
It's
once
one of the
JJ's
nicest things
here
you've ever said to me.
powered.
I don't. Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna go with it. I'm gonna roll with it. We're just gonna continue on, and I'm just gonna ignore everything that's going on. I didn't get revived. I'm still dead, but I've accepted it. I'm just gonna go on this fantasy journey and believe that I'm trying to let this fall in line with my paranoia. So give me a break. I'm not trying to be a dick here.
I think we should maybe go ahead and get onto that boat so Colt can get a nap.
Yeah, on the
That
river.
sounds like a good idea.
Styx, right?
Yes, on
You
the
beat
river
me to it.
Styx, Bucky.
And they all laughed. Bucky laughed. Morgan laughed. Orville's laughed. Vel laughed. JJ laughed. JJ's hair laughed. They all laughed. And Colt walked to the boat.
Yeah.
So, Colt, we
Just-
wouldn't be demons, we'd be devils if we're in hell.
Okay, that's
Come on.
cool, devil person. I don't care. I'm gonna walk to the boat because we're gonna go on this hell ride to wherever
You wouldn't want
we're
to be
going.
offensive to any devils or demons, you know?
JJ's
Yeah, you're
gonna
right.
look
Misfiend
out.
them.
I'm
JJ
sorry, devil people.
JJ's gonna look out for an anthill on the way to the boat.
Okay. Are you trained in perception?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. On the way to the boat, you find a small colony of carpenter ants that have dug their way into a fence post.
She's gonna stomp on as many as she can.
Okay. That's easy enough to do. Yeah. Just roll 2d20.
$33.
33. Yeah, you stomp through this hive of ants. You start slamming them with your boots. You start crushing them. You start seeing these kind of like soft little wisps of white smoke come out of the ants, and you start hearing this sound behind your ear, like. Yeah, you can say that you have 33 ant souls that you have delivered onto your deal.
Are you satiated for now?
Oh, delicious souls. Yes.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah.
Continuing on.
Yeah.
Beep boop. Yeah, okay. Before long, you guys pass through the trading post, past the winding path to the riverbed, and you come into view of the ferry. Along the ferry, it is now later in the afternoon at this point, probably like upwards of like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. You come into view of the ferry, you see that people are making preparations. You can see that Fortune has moved to the ferry and has kind of informed Trent and Quas that the peoples are coming. They're going to expect us to leave soon. And that's kind of where you're at. Okay, cool. Had to make a note of that. You see everyone kind of getting ready. You see Trenton on the ferry, kind of barking orders at people and like moving things about, and turns in your direction and kind of waves to you guys as you approach. As you guys come into view of him, he goes, "Well, I hear that we're ready for adventure. We're to set sail to the far north, and that means the completion of our promised contract. Is that right?"
That's the plan.
Well, then, I do believe there's a second half of something that I am entitled to.
When we arrive at our destination. What part of that didn't you understand?
I feel like I understood part of it, but I understood that this would be the conclusion of our journey, in which case now this is a new venture. Now, I don't have to accept this contract, but if you are looking to book arrangements on my ferry, then certainly you can afford to prepay this venture, as I know there are a number of accommodations that must be met for your individuals.
All right, fine. It's been a stressful enough day. Here you are.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. He takes the bag with the remainder of the funding for it, and he kind of opens it up, and again, having very little shame, counts it, kind of like just sticking a finger in the bag and like, goes, oh, this all looks in order. Fantastic, then. So we'll be heading north. Do we know the official location that we will be confirmed to go to, or?
We'll be waiting for the people we'll be escorting. But the presumption is Iskander, but it could be one of the others. We'll find out shortly. They should be here by the evening.
Very well then. So please, come aboard the ferry, make yourselves quite at home, and certainly we will we'll await your care, the individuals in your care. I've already cleaned out the quarters as we discussed, so whoever is the very important persons among their group can utilize the captain's quarters if they so need them.
I'm sure they'll appreciate that.
Well, very good then. I will, I'll leave you to it, and certainly if there's anything that I can do, or anything here at, well, my expedition company can provide to you, please don't be a stranger. We are still on the lookout for formal entertainment for our in-sailing procedures, but at the very least, we managed to restock by making good with a number of promises to the warden. So we do thank you, of course, for all of your assistance and aid in that event.
Of course.
Yes, of course.
Remember, Trent. Trenton's Travels. I think it's catchy. I don't know how you feel about it.
I'll have to think about it. Rebranding is a very expensive process, and it's very laborious for a number of people that are not myself. So we'll certainly have to look into it, and when we look into it, that'll be it, indeed. Right then.
All right.
Good to see you, Colt. You're looking a bit thinner than I last saw you. Hope you're enjoying a new diet, perhaps.
Yeah. Of course. Thank you, Trenton.
Of course, and
You're totally not the guy that's taking me to another layer of hell. So I'm gonna go take a nap now. And
you know you enjoy that nap. And may it be the most restful nap you've ever known.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Totally not devil person.
It's I can hear you. You know that, right?
I know. I'm gonna walk away.
All right.
I know.
It's okay, Colt. We're on the river now. We all float here.
Don't tempt me.
You've uttered the words to activate Josh.
Triggered. So Trenton kind of makes his way about the ship. His recently hired and youthful crew begin to make preparations for leaving. They're loading a number of crates back onto the ship. You can see as well there are barrels that line the front of the ship, and they are currently open with kind of like a heavy set series of mesh lining. There seem to be a number of like cloth goods that have been run through these barrels, and you can see a few members of the crew wringing the outfits out and draining the water into the barrels before dumping it and depositing it back into the riverside. You then continue to hear over the next about an hour or so as you guys set in to wait. You can see the crew kind of slamming these heavy set barrels into the river and start trudging the river itself. And when they pull the barrels back up, they pour it over the side with this metal grate, and they seem to be kind of looking for anything that might have spilled off from their recent adventures that might still be in the bed of the river. They're more or less dredging and attempting to find anything that might have been lost that they can still recover or salvage. As the hour passes, very easily enough, Colt, you find a bunk to rest in. the rest of you kind of occupy yourselves with waiting around for your guests to show up. Eventually, you do see them. You see an entire group of individuals. You see Mr. Lamont in the front. You see a rather familiar, stout human man beside Lamont with a bit of a grimace on his face. Behind them, you see 4 massive, and I mean very large, mountain goats with horns that curl up in a extravagant fashion. They seem, at this point, almost larger than some members of your party, and they kind of march in step. To either side of them, you see 2 hooded figures that are no taller than about 4 foot tall. They have heavy set cloaks over the tops of their heads, and they seem to be doing their best to more or less hide or obscure who they are. A wagon follows behind, pulled by a horse that you recognize as Trenton's wagon. And then finally, you see a very tall, slender-looking individual walking forward, dressed in a rather beautiful-looking garb. Their hood is pulled very tight over their face. And as as Lamont approaches, you hear him kind of call out, and you hear, "We was chosen of Lady Galante. Hi, it's me, Mr. Lamont. How do you do? Is this your boat?"
Yes.
This
sir,
is the ship we've chartered, yes?
Are you sure that she is seaworthy? I know she's floating now, but well, I don't know. I guess I assumed something more grandiose.
We've sailed her to Direwood and back. I assure you, it's seaworthy.
Well, Direwood and back is only bad. Oh, okay, Mr. Buck. If you do say so, I have no reason to doubt you, gentlemen. And he turns. He goes, "This is the ship that they informed us of that will be heading north in. So please, ready yourselves." You see the individual standing beside Lamont kind of look over with a cold gaze, and you hear this kind of like grumbling underneath his breath before kind of like moving on and going, "Well, is no one here going to take my bags?" And he looks across there, and you see Trenton Quas kind of like, and he elbows Fortune in the gut. He's like, "Oh, right, yeah, I'll do it. And you see Fortune run down and go, "Sorry about that. Where are your bags?" And you see them kind of point behind him to the large mountain goats, and you can see saddlebags on either side of them. He goes, "Right. We'll just bring the goats on. That's fine. Hey, get some harnesses. We need to tie these things down so they don't jump off the side of the. What the hell are we doing?" Okay. And you see Fortune start getting himself prepared for that. Trenton walks forward among you all, and he goes, "These are your guests. Is that right?"
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they're a bit surly. All right then. Well, no time like the present to make friends. And he walks down the ramp a little bit as Fortune starts trying to wrangle these heavy-set mountain goats onto the ship. Trenton walks forward and kind of like effortlessly like moves his arm out. He says, "Welcome and greetings, my honored guests. I am Trenton Quas. This is my lovely fairy, and I have been hired on as a member of help to the great and powerful members of Lady Galante's Weavers Chosen. I can assure you that while their protection is in place and my keen eye for the sailing seas that are set ahead of us, we all will come to a very merry journey to whatever destination you have planned out." You see Lamont kind of like, oh yes, this is very good. Yes, you hear that? They've got confidence and gusto, and there's Mr. Honeycutt. Good to see you again. I'm very happy to see you, in fact. Oh wait, no, you're asleep. Sorry.
Yeah.
He wants
Could
to
I
wake you,
hear
but he
them?
can't. Yeah, you can hear. You definitely hear Lamont. Lamont and Trenton are two very theater people.
All right,
the
I'd
nicest way
probably
to say
make
it.
my way out if I heard Lamont.
And then he will wave to you. You hear the gentleman next to him. He goes, "Hi,
Let's all get aboard, and then we'll talk about where we're going. And he, Lamont kind of looks over and goes, "Oh, yes, if we could please come aboard, Captain Quas." And Trenton kind of looks over and goes, "Captain Quas? Yes, Captain Quas. That's what they call me. Captain of this river. Yes, of course. Please come right aboard. I'll have food prepared, of course. Some snacks, some in sailing snacking. Yes, great." And he starts walking aboard. He starts snapping at people, to pull provisions out and set up a large wooden table, and kind of prepare for the kind of road ahead. As everything gets loaded in over the next hour, a table set up in the middle of the ferry. The large goats are kind of strapped into the sides of the ferry. The horse itself is brought down below deck with the cargo, along with the wagon. It's kind of secured and fastened in place, as well as all of the barrels and crates of goods that Lamont has been carrying with him for quite some time. You see, as a table set up, a number of beverages, both alcoholic and not, are set up along the center table. And you can see the guest of Lamont kind of look over the crew and talk to Trenton into beginning preparations to leave. And before long, the ferry is made ready to depart. And he approaches your group and looks you all over, and he goes, "Right then. So, no formalities here. You're all the weavers chosen of Lady Galante, eh?"
Yes.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Can you be
Yeah.
trusted to stand vigil against that which comes against us?
Yeah.
Of
I think
course.
so.
We have so far.
So,
And tell me true, have you any interest in betraying this journey and this convoy?
None.
I mean, no. What? There's no reason for us to want to betray you. We don't know much about you. I mean, we're just doing something as a favor to Lady Galante and to help you out as a favor to Lamont.
Well, there's a bit more than a favor in it for you, if, well, y'all can be believed. And as he says this, he goes, We'll talk in a bit. Once we leave the shore, we'll set destination. I just wanted to get a read on you more than when we last met in the inn."
Sounds good. I mean, we don't know much about you, sir, though. I mean, it would help us to know a little bit about you more, maybe. I don't know.
Introductions will follow.
Do we know this guy's name? I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah.
We met him in the inn, but we didn't ask him.
look here. This man right here, his name's Steve. We're taking him to some island in the middle of the ocean. That's it.
This is a very elaborate Scuba Steve joke. I'm going to kill you.
No, it's not. I'm bullshitting.
Okay. I was like, okay. So, with that, the ferry makes way, and Lamont kind of looks over and starts talking with Trenton Quas and saying, yes, Captain Quas, if you could, please make way for Thunder Bay. And then once we've arrived in Thunder Bay, we can better navigate the path ahead and really set a course for that. But I believe that should be our first bit of business is Thunder Bay. And you see Trenton go, of course, yes, I will make myself available for all of you, my friends. Truly, we are so fortunate to have such great guests aboard. He smiles and sets about calling out people for the rigging, pushing off from the shoreline, and beginning to drift from the shores of Grim Village. In doing so, the guest of Lamont kind of looks you all over and he goes, "You there, folks, if you could, please come over here. I'd like to speak with you. Bit of open honesty, I think it's called for at this time."
Would you like to step into the captain's quarters? I believe that Mr. Quas had said that y'all could use him if needed.
He looks you up and down. He goes, "Might the men and folks of this ferry not be trustworthy?" He says it openly, and you see a few of the crew like look over their shoulders at him.
I'm sure they are, but I'm not quite sure how discreet or whatnot you need to be. Just an option for you.
Mm-hmm. Right then.
DM,
Yes.
how close to these mountain goats are we meeting this fella?
What do you mean? How close to the mountain goats? What do you mean?
To Orville.
Orville has a fear of goats.
Oh yeah, no, they're all along the front of the ship right now, and you're in like the middle of the ship, so they're
Okay. Well,
tens of
if
feet away.
Yeah, no, that's far enough.
Mhm.
We're good as long as
Yeah.
it's not like I'm gonna sit on the back of this goat and we're gonna have a meeting.
No, you
I have
decided to
stand
take the boat. You avoided having to ride on a goat. You took the boat. The fear that could have been, Orville. The fear that could have been.
I avoided walking 50 feet behind the rest of the party. Yep.
With kind of heeding your advice, he beckons away and goes, "All right then, lass, go ahead here. Lead on for this captain's quarters. We'll speak in private." He goes, "Lamont, with me." He looks to, he goes, "Greco, move your ass." And he finally points to the two hooded figures, and he goes, "Orens, keep a lookout. I don't want any ears where I don't want them." And you see the two hooded figures kind of nod, their faces still kind of obscured by this like heavy set hood, and they stand on either side of the captain's quarters doors. You can see that one of them reaches back in their pack and produces a very heavy looking crossbow, and kind of just like brandishes it, but it's not loaded. Kind of just holds it out in front of him, just to kind of again have a hand on a weapon. But yeah, past that, the door to the captain's quarters is opened. You all file through, and as the door closes, the partner to Lamont, as well as the tall, thin man, enters in to the captain's quarters and looks at you all over and goes, "Right then, so a bit of coming clean here. What we mean to do is of grave importance to the dynasty, and of course to a rather royal practitioner. I suppose names are in accordance in what you might need." And he kind of takes his hand, and you can see that he has kind of a larger ring set upon his thumb. And he pulls this heavyset ring off, and this illusion fades of a human man. He grows a lot wider, a lot stouter, and a heavy-set white beard kind of forms around him. You see this individual. I'm going to try to make him a little bit bigger. Woo-hoo. And he kind of looks you all over, and he goes, "I am, well, supposing I'm going to have to trust you. I'm Lord Sirius Basrund of the great and mighty kingdom of Iskander."
Can we get a spelling on that?
Sure. Sirius and Basrund. That's Bussarund. I think I can probably...
Like Sirius, Black Sirius.
Mm-hmm. Sirius.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. But he looks you all over and he goes, "Now as a primary lord of Iskander itself, I come with a number of tidings, and I feel it's only fair, as Mr. Lamont has informed me, that we would come clean with a lot of this business, and you know exactly what you're doing and who you're traveling with. I feel in the effort of good faith that I have to put my life in your hand, and thus I need to trust you with a bit more knowledge in that sense. I do apologies for, what is to say, discretion, illusion, and a bit of hiding, but we couldn't be sure if other individuals were after what it is we managed to claim out of the south. That being said, you all being Weavers chosen, I very much entrust the success of this venture in your hands. I don't want anyone to be made aware exactly as of what we're keeping here if they cannot be trusted. Is that understood?
Understood.
Absolutely.
Quite.
Yes, sir.
Very well then. I'll save you the wee boring details of what came here and what is to be. But suffice to say that we came into possession, or rather an opportunity that the fellow lords and myself could not overlook, and especially the mighty men of House Busrund would not forsake such an opportunity. And that was the uncovering and unearthing of a founding stone. A artifact, so to speak, rather a piece of one. One of the first materials said to have been crafted ever by a weaver. The realm weavers themselves poured so much of them into, well, the world we see around us. The air we breathe, the blood in our veins, the pride that we find within our souls, and the strength of spirit that we see in every single weaver's chosen it today. The realm weavers were smart, however, and they imbued much of their strength in, well, different aspects, different avenues. Ancient and powerful things that they first created to defend themselves from that which would be the calling void, and much of the encroaching darkness that exists within every heart of every living thing. It is said that the founding stone is a relic of one such nature that perhaps, well, could uncover a wee bit more up to this mystery than we might be presently able to find by ourselves. It is with this that we sent Lamont down to the south to meet with our team that was successful in recovering such an object. And Lamont carries it with him to this day. And he points, and Lamont kind of taps his backpack a little bit. Such a thing is far too powerful to be handled inappropriately. And there are a number of worries that could, well, result in contact with such a thing. The forwarding team we sent to the south, many of them in their reports came back rather peculiar. So, if it's all the same to you, I would just ensure that Mr. Lamont is kept safe above all else. Is that understood?
Understood.
Very much so.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If we're
Yes,
all in
sir.
agreement, then. Being that we're all in the agreeable sorts, we'd see you actually escort us well past Iskander itself. We don't know what other presences might have availed themselves within the capital. To that end, we should hope that this ship would carry us far to the north, past the Barzulan colony, and along the bank itself, just to the north of Mount Barzulian. Provided we have a number of agents that would be welcome into us and able to, well, provide trust in hands and a way into the city that is not often utilized. If it's all the same to you, I would ask that we extend your venture past the simple delivery and depositing of us to that shoreline, but to then further accompany the team through the older pass of the mountain itself until a time of which we can reach our destination deep within the heart of the mountain and ensure that this founding stone is secured and given to the right folks that can analyze it, research it, and make sure that its darkness and power does not call or reach out to any other creatures of the night.
If I may, Your Majesty, I don't know if you prefer to be referred
Sir would
to
be
that.
just fine there, kid.
Sir, yes. You know that we've been kind of dancing around the topic with, in terms of whether or not these creatures, these shadow creatures that befell Grim Village, are they attracted to this item?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to be sure to know what we're getting ourselves into, and I want to be sure that Grim Village is fine now that it's out of there.
Well, I can't speak in good faith on the fate of that village. The creatures knew it was there, and for a time, whatever residual energies or perhaps even power that emanates from the founding stone itself has definitely tainted the land over in Grim Village. It has seeped into the very bedrock of that place, and should darkness befall it, it would be an unfortunate sacrifice in the history of bettering the world.
Who or what are you concerned of in Iskander, sir, if I could ask?
Well, there are a number of parties that we've recently made peace with that reside within the mountain itself. A number of colonies of other individuals and long-standing grudges that were put aside by both our people and our once called kin. That the city should be made a sacred place for all those that call the mountain their home, and all the free peoples of Oscanath. Under the mighty rule of our king, we would, of course, well, we'd see peace in this day and age, with the Realm Weavers no longer among us, and no longer the guiding force for many of those thinking things. We now find ourselves at an impasse, that we make peace, we bury the hatchet, and we do our best to absolve ourselves of grudges, and live honorably, as living things ought to. Thus were the teachings of many of the Weavers. But, in that same sense, while we, proud, noble dwarven men and women, can be trusted, our allies are not those we fully trust, and in the many years of suffrage that our people have, well, been availed to, it is much too difficult at this point to truly forgive and truly trust those that are not of our ilk.
Seems fair.
Now then, if I might be able to count on ye for the journey ahead, and the journey still yet to be made throughout Mount Barzulin, then I'll open the floor for questions. Surely you have things that are lingering on your mind.
We do have a request, and I'm sure the group feels the same about this. We need to make Our Lady aware, at the very least, of something, of us being late or what have you, just so that you trust us. We don't want to go behind your back or anything. We would like it to, if you could arrange such a thing or have any idea of a way to arrange such a thing, and so, so that you know exactly what we're telling her. We don't want to reveal any more than you feel comfortable revealing, and I can understand that given what this is.
He looks you up and down, and he looks to Lamont. He goes, "What was this one?" He goes, Mr. Honeycutt, sir." He goes, "Listen here, you honeyfuck. If your lass, your lady, this delicate little bird you have there in the south, read my letter, then she knows that I'm borrowing you. And if she agreed to send you out here, then she knew what she was signing up for when she sent your lives to me. Now, I don't need to tell every lesser noble in the countryside what fancies her and where her birds are, but I promise you, little sparrow, as you guide us through the mountain, we'll ensure that you're put to good use. I need you to remind me to play nice with the humans. I've understood it, and I've done it for years. Again, she'll be well compensated, and your honor will be sung throughout the mountain. If that's something she was interested in, that'd be the reason you're here."
Very well. No further questions from me, I suppose.
Bucky kind of tunes in and says, "I have one question, my lord. How much do you like moonshine?"
Moonshine? You mean water?
Hey, if you can drink it like water, more power to you.
Well, I suppose it'd be better than the swill they've been peddling around that village of theirs. I've asked Lamont 7 times now to go to that inn and procure me a viable drink, and not a single time has he returned a success. Lamont's like, they only had ale
and some wines. Those terrible swill those humans make.
Well, we brought some from my family's estate just for you. So enjoy on your journey. And we'll keep you safe as we can, sir.
Very well, then. I'd be happy to partake and give my, well, noble opinions about your moonshine. Perhaps it'll blind me in an eye, and I can say that it is truly the stuff that is compared to the mountain itself. Now then, for the rest of you, mightn't you have any other misgivings about this adventure, or what might be asked of ye as weavers chosen?
I am curious if you could provide any further insights into the creatures that have been after the stone so far. We've faced them several times, and even in defeating one of their larger amalgamations, discovering, I'll take out the Shadow Stone, that they would collect in these sorts of vessels to create those.
Now, I don't know much about you there, Knifeear, and I do apologize for any rudeness in that regard. You have a bit of airs about you. But if in your thinking that those creatures could craft a jewel such as that and truly be on their way, then I need to elaborate on exactly how jewels like that are made. The spirits of the dead and souls are brought together and truly bonded into such of the earth and risen up from another plane, not unlike our very own. Many would call it the Shadowfell, a dim and dire place that was the own falling out from the original realm weavers. Many of our stories, histories, and ancestries speak of the Shadowfell as a terrible place where all of the worst trash the realm weavers fit not to birth into our wonderful world remained and have sided. Now our soothsayers have spoken for many years, and to each of them, they've spoken at long lengths that there are a creature, a sentience, a being, or several of them, in fact, that held resentment for the realm weavers for not gifting upon their lands the same they gave onto the Everwield itself. It is this resentment, this hate, and this bile that you have seen in the fields of combat. And now truly, that which we might find ourselves at a crude disposition to. Those creatures are not, how to say, mindless. They are not a weapon thrown directly at you. There is a thought to them, a sentience, a mind behind their movements that guides them through the darkness, that makes them seek the founding stone, and makes them seek all that we hold dear here within the Everwield. Those creatures have a master that they swear fealty to, and it is only by our continued momentum and seeing this journey move forward that we stay ahead of it, provided that we can reach the safety of the mountain itself and the might and minds of Iskandurits proper. Might we be safe in securing this item and preventing whatever foul beast is on our heels from catching us and crushing us beneath its jaws.
I understand.
Good that you understand it then, lass. Good to have someone who's got a head on her shoulders and isn't just a pretty pair of looks.
Well, luckily we still all have our heads, right, Colt?
Yeah, wait, what?
Lamont kind of looks over and looks at Colt and kind of leans forward. He goes, I'm very, very happy for you that you're not dead, Mr. Honeycutt. You're looking very well for a dead man.
Thank you, Lamont. You know, we need to get out of this hellscape that we're in. These devils. I'm telling you. These
Cole, you
devils.
can go
I
take.
can't
When you
trust
wake
them.
up from your nap, it'll be all better. I swear.
I mean, I just asked a question and that guy called me honey fuck. I don't even know what that means.
I'll explain it later.
Bucky's like, man, when I was in the woods, let me tell you about honey fucking.
It's a thing, trust me.
It's a thing. You're just, you just start out, you're just an eager little 13-year-old satyr lost in the woods, and then next thing you know, honey fucking. But with that, the Lord looks across you all. He goes, right then. So, Mighton, you have any other questions might be needing answering, or can I look upon you and consider you an ally to this cause and see that this mission be done?
Well, I won't lie to you. When this all began, the secrecy did have me at a bit of concern, but everything you've revealed to us, the honesty that you give, my lord, I believe we will be of great service to you.
Good. I don't want any hard feelings about what we had to do. It was merely ensuring that the greater good was served, not the worrying of those who would have to suffer to ensure that we maintain the way of life that we all can call home.
Could I ask who our other traveling compatriots are?
Of course. Be more than happy to. And he points and he goes, you of course know Mr. Lamont. He is a valiant man and truly, well, a good hand. A man who I've been able to count on for a number of things here, beyond his simple merchant misgivings. And Lamont kind of like nods his head, and he goes, oh, thank you, sir. He goes, don't take that as a compliment. I'm just speaking in front of the help. He looks over to the rest of you, and he goes, you've of course met Wilbus, I'm assured?
Yes.
You see Wilbus kind of like slowly pull back this like brightly colored hood, and let's see here. There he is. And he reveals this face to you guys. So the hood of Wilbus kind of pulls back, and you see this kind of faded looking skin, this bright pale whiteness to the eyes, these pointed ears, and this black kind of inking mass that crawls across the upper part of the chest and onto like much of the face. You can see that this line quivers across the central marking of the face, and these kind of like various pigmentations blink in and out from the various parts of his face. He goes, you've met Greco Wilbus. And Greco kind of looks over and hears, yes, they have had the pleasure of meeting me. He goes, wonderful then. Glad that you've been acquainted. Greco is our, well, he's a bit of our, how to say it kindly, magical sorts is the easiest way to put it. Because there are a number of talents that I am able to provide to the Lord here, and I have stood as a honorable servant for the Lord's house for quite some time. Because, yes, my father and his father before him had actually met with Greco's creator. Greco is an agent of mine that has served for quite some time at this point, has been a trusted member of the household. He has proved himself time and again that they are, well, irreplaceable, to say the least. Greco kind of looks over and he goes, 1,000 thank yous, my lord. Certainly, I'm appreciative of the honor. He goes, yes, of course, and it is what you're owed. The two fellas out there are the last of our traveling companion. The pair of them are much in myself, only without the benefit of fair illusions. We thought them not needing to dress in their normal attire
But the pair of them are again trusted members of my bannermen. They're known as the Orin brothers, Ulrich and Erdrick. They're two finer of the most powerful dwarven arms that anyone might be able to trust in their journey, and they've kept me safe some many years now. I would trust them with my own life, and trust them with your lives as well. But when it comes to these sort of endeavors, they're a bit out of their depths. The creatures that we seem to be trailed by and harrowed at every pass are ones that I was not confident that the Orin brothers would be able to take on themselves, whilst keeping us safe.
Thank you, sir.
Happy to help, and, illuminate a bit of the mystery as for why you were hired and why this is so important to us. Now then, I do believe I've answered a fair amount of your questions. I don't think there's for any wanton you should have left. We have quite a journey ahead of us to be speaking on as we continue along these roads and seas. I think this will make for a fine cabin for myself, and the Orin brothers will be happy to stand guard over the night. If you all could, keep an eye out among these crew members of this ferry. A few of them seemed, rather hungry for gold. And while that'll buy respect for you here and now, it won't buy a lasting impression or courage to stand against what needs to be standing against.
We'll keep an eye on them.
Thank you.
Fair enough.
Very well then. If that'll be all, I'll speak with you in the morning. Get yourself a good night's rest if you're able to. Keep an eye out on there and on deck. And this shifty fella, the captain, I think his name was Quos. How far should we be able to trust him?
As far as the gold goes.
I was going to say about as far as you can pay him.
Yeah.
Has he been well provided for? Mightn't he need anything else?
Very.
Right. Well, provided he can be bought, we're happy to pay it with his discretion in mind and, the hope that he keeps this boat straight in the water. I'll speak with you come the morning, but for now, I believe it would do me some good to turn in. Maybe I can, he kind of looks, he goes, Lamont. He goes, yes, sir. He goes, fetch me some of this lass's moonshine. I want to give a formal review in the morning. He goes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Of course, I will, I'll be happy to, procure a skinful. He goes, wonderful. Make sure it has time to breathe. I've heard that with this moonshine, you want to aerate it, so be sure that you do that, Lamont. He goes, of course, sir. I will do that. He goes, very good then. He goes, Greco. As before, so now. And Greco kind of nods to him, and you see the form of Greco shrink down and mirror that of the Lord of Sirius himself. And slowly you see this dark pigmentation across this pale face begin to fade in and form the visage of a tan. You can see the front of this once pale chin begin to twist and turn. You can see long white hair begin to form out of the front of Greco's face. And within about a little under a minute, where once Greco stood, you now have an exact copy of the Lord Basrund standing next to himself, only dressed in a very vibrant robe. He goes, that'll do. You sleep in the bed. Looks to me that there might be a closet or something I could hide up in. He goes, you all know that, and keep that to yourselves, please.
Certainly,
Very
sir.
wise.
And he goes and he opens the closet and starts taking pillows and blankets and laying them down in the closet. And Greco starts making the bed, kind of looking comfortable. He goes, if that'll be all, show yourselves out. And he closes the closet doors, and Greco kind of sits in the bed and looks like he's getting ready for a nap.
All right. I'll walk out.
You open the door. The two hooded figures look in your direction.
And they, since you're the first one through the door, you hear, supposing I could take him? Yes, I don't think you could take him. I don't know, he's got weak knees. I think we could take him off with a hinge. It's like, yeah, perhaps.
This was 5 days ago. I bet you couldn't take me. But
Oh.
I like the spirit, boys.
Yeah, he likes the spirit. Yeah, of course he likes the spirit. Very spirited individuals. Yeah, I've got a gold crown on it that I could take him out with a foot. He goes, you probably take him out by the foot. And the pair of them like start laughing. The rest of your party follows you out. As you guys exit the captain's quarters, the doors close behind you. The voyage begins as you guys head through the northern pass towards Thunder Bay, and that is where we will call it for tonight, for the end of the episode. A lot of lore stuff right there at the end, but I wanted to make sure we got to it while we still had the momentum. Colt's back for how long we can't say, but he's back now, so that's a good thing. For everyone who stayed up with us and watched, we of course thank you for hanging out with us all night. No technical difficulties for once, so I think the new internet is, knock on wood, gonna be okay. We'll be back here next week. We already started the first of 3 goals, so I really need to evaluate point numbers when I want stuff to happen or not happen, but that's a fun thing anyway.
You made that one low enough. That one was going to happen. You wanted it to happen.
No.
It did.
Originally, I had it set for 1 point, and I just wanted to tempt people with it before I made it active. And I was like, 10,000 will be fine. 25,000 took like 2 or 3 sessions, so it would take some people. This is much better. This is even better. For everyone who tuned in, who was watching with us, I hope you guys had a good one. We'll see you next week. We hope you guys have a great night. I hope everyone had fun, and we'll see you when we see you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Goodbye.